Daniel said, "He shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and shall think to change times and laws."
Walking to work, holes in my shoes, get my check, I gotta choose between that and the food. From a poor family, mama raised me with food stamps. In a bad neighborhood, like to got my wig blew back on a couple occasions. Plus the police racist, be a bunch of Klansmen off in these police stations. I'ma cut through this alley, past all these crack addicts and filthy mattresses, old rotten chicken packages. Home sweet home, turn on the TV, flip through a couple channels, get a glimpse of my dreams. Now I'm feeling even worse because what do I see? I see every other nation living better than me. Only if I could have focused on school, I messed up. I was too busy hustling, trying to get bread up. Now that I'm a grown man with 7 kids to feed, these good jobs, see my record, they ain't hiring me on me. I know you're tired, ready to expire. Come on to Christ, bruh. Look to your Shire, he said, "Come unto me, all ye that are heavy laden, I will give you rest." He had to whoop us good. Now we waking us up, repent we really should. Come unto me, all ye that are heavy laden, I will give you rest. So strong, your struggle for so long, trying to hold on while life just goes on. I don't want no part of the world, I miss nothing. I went running unto Christ, shout the gathering of the people. Cometh unto the Father, but by me, made every drop of pain worth it. Jeremiah 29:11, he made it perfect. Oh, perfect. Oh, I once endured a heavy load, now his burden so light, I don't walk, I flow. Satisfied with some shelter, some food and raiment. Heart simmering in peace, feel constantly changing, cause I know this time like a drop of water in the ocean. Compared to how long our kingdom gon' keep going. Catch me with my ankles crossed and my hands folded. It's called Shabbat Shalom. You should get to know it. A peaceful rest. I know you're tired, ready. Christ, bruh. Look to your Shire, he said, "Come unto me, all ye that are heavy laden, I will give you rest." He had to whoop us good. In this up, repent we really should. Come unto me, ye that are heavy laden, I will give you rest.
Genesis 49:10. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be.
Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, that's who it's for. For the slaving man, huh? For the tired man, huh? For the crushed man, for the humble man, huh? For the modest man, for the poor man, huh? She grew. For the toiling woman, she grew. Then his people ain't for the rich. The rich couldn't even roll a price. He told them, "Nah, you sell everything you got and give it to the poor, and then you can come roll with me." Look, this who he coming for. Check it out. Look, it's right here. Look, Matthew 5:3. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they who hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see the Most High. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of the Most High. Blessed are they that are persecuted. As is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall be manner of evil against you falsely, for my voice and be exceeding. You and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. Yeah, the prophets was our blood ancestors.
I know you tired, ready to expire. Come on to Christ, bruh. Look to your Shire. He said, come unto me, all ye that are heavy laden. I will give you rest. Had to whoop was good. Now we waking this up. Repent, we really should. Come unto me, all ye that are heavy laden. I will give you rest.
Rest from the struggle, rest from your pain, rest from the hard life, rest from the work, from the dirt, wearing all
I
white.
will give you rest unto me, all ye that are heavy laden.
Rest.
I will give you rest.
Rest from the injustice, from the prejudiceness of the wicked, from the lies.
Heavy laden. I will give you rest.
Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. We are back. We are back before the screen for another Sabbath. It is the Sabbath. It's late. It's late, but it is the Sabbath. Right? I started to just lay it down. Nah. We're going to come before the screen. We're going to read some book. We're going to greet each other with a hearty Shabbat Shalom, right? To the 12 tribes worldwide, right? And to all of they, our friends that accompany us, right? Shout out to all tribes in the earth, right? Shout out to every tribe that the Father made, right? Glory be unto the Most High. Get out of here, Chico. So, anointed and appointed and double dipped in that ointment is your brother Bronze, right? Greeting you with a hearty Shabbat Shalom. If you hear the song that we came in with, I try to come in with a song, you know. The scriptures that I dig out, they usually remind me of something that we once recorded, you know, and that's what I want to talk about. If you see the title, right? If you see the title, says you don't want to be no go-getter, right? You think you do. You think you want to be a go-getter, aggressive, right? You know, get it, give it to me. Oh, this is mine, that's mine. Oh, this belongs to me, right? And to hit the earth with that type of a right mindset and be a conqueror, you know, feel like you got to take everything. Feel like you got to strategize for it, right? That ain't the way it was supposed to be, y'all. We learned how to do that being away from the Most High. We went to the Most High for everything, right? Deuteronomy 6:4. Hear, O Israel, the Most High, our God, is one God. The right? And that's how it was originally supposed to have been. And that's how it was. And that's how it has been for me. Okay? That's how it has been for me. I lean on the Most High for everything. He has shown me enough. And with me paying attention the way I pay attention, I've been looking for him. I look for him in all things. And now I know how he works. I know how he works. The more you understand how he works, the less it's going to cause you to have to work, right? That was a curse, fam. Okay? That was a curse. Our whole mind state. It was a curse. He didn't create us to work. Okay? Now, I would lose that argument if you are looking at numbers. Most people across the face of this earth, they would gang up and they would sound better and everything. They're better speakers than I and all of that, you know. They would totally outnumber me. And guess what? It still wouldn't make them right. It still wouldn't make them right. Okay? We got to work and be about our Father's business. God willing, you are absolutely correct. He would rather us focus on him, right? That's what Matthew 6 is about. Don't worry about what you're going to eat and drink and what you should wear, right? Focus on my righteousness and I'll put everything else there, right? Oh, we so hard-headed. Oh, no, but I got to do this. Oh, no, that was a curse. You know, when he gave us work, when Adam and Eve messed up in the Garden of Eden, right? Before that, man, he made us to land in paradise naked. And then we start messing it up. What's the first thing we had to do? Get dressed. We supposed to be running around naked, y'all. But we too immature for that, right? Oh, look at him, right? Supposed to be running around naked, right? Nah, we had to go get the fig leaf. You know? Who told you need that fig leaf, right? He knew it could only been one entity, right? That serpent, you know? So, right? So this book is here for that. All we got to do is look at this book and reverse every curse that we put on ourselves. We wasn't eating no beast. We were eating fruit. We didn't have to work to eat. You know what we did? We walked by a bush, pink organism, fruit, seed, right? And we lived forever. You know? It was later when we needed a sacrifice, right? You know? That was later. Originally, not so. So we have a lot of liars. You need this, you need that, right? You need to work, you need to eat meat, you need, right? You need none of that. And it's peace when you drop it all. What you think a homeless man found? He fell on some hard times. His situation was supposed to just be temporary out there. He thought out there, he said, man, I ain't I ain't never going back into that world that way y'all live. Never again. Right. Man, he found him some field somewhere, found a way to make a little abode, and that's what we were doing, fam. When your son was of age, he didn't need no apartment. He walked a little bit down the ways, a little bit more, still close enough to you, still in your vicinity, and he set up some sticks and sheets, right? And he lived in there. Him and his woman, they started it right there. And when you looked at us from a distance, that's what you saw. Booths, tabernacles, right? So, man, we have to know. We have to know what was put on us. We have to know all what we need. We have to know all what we don't need. Because here we are, we throwing our whole life away. This one and afterwards. The present and the eternal. We throwing it all away for what? For some stuff we don't even need. For some stuff the Father, he didn't even promise us. Right? Some things he didn't even promise us to have. We was living, breathing air, drinking water, and going out and hunting down dinner. And that was life. You see how easy it is to stay righteous when that's all you live for? That's all we supposed to be doing, fam. Getting dinner. Wake up, what we gonna eat today? Let's go out, try to catch a beast. Maybe we catch one, maybe we don't. If we don't, we'll just eat the seeds that we planted, right? And that was life. No, we made this all complicated. Oh, need this, need that, need this kind of purse, need this, right? Need this hairstyle, right? Need all of this stuff. You don't need that stuff. That stuff got you destroying yourself, right? Oh, I want to be this kind of guy. I want to be that kind of woman, right? You know? Most you had to worry about was, hey, who ran the fastest? You know? Who was the best at lassoing up that beast? You know, that's what made you something big and bad, and you either had it in or you didn't, you know? You were able to get out there, you had the speed, you knew how to chunk that harpoon, you know what I'm saying? Lay a beast down. That was Jacob, and Judah, take a whole big old beast and just flip it over your arm like that and just take it to the house. We be feasting off of that, right? Feast off of it. Do our sacrifices and things like that. Send some up to the Father, a sweet savor and all that, And that was life, man. And then, when that beast was gone, it was back to the fruit and the vegetables for who knows how long, we wasn't eating a beast like that 3 times a day. It wasn't no 3 meals. It was 1 meal a day, right? But yeah, we made life all complicated like this, fam. Right? But I'm gonna tell you something about the go-getter that everybody thinks they wanna be. The Most High is so absent from that. We put the Most High on that, and I expect a lot of flack from this, from talking like this. But man, you punishing yourself. You putting yourself through so much, right? You know who the go-getter is? Satan. The Father would rather you come to him, right? And he would answer you. He would answer you. And that way you don't wind up with some junk that you don't need. Why? because he's going to drop in your lap what he wants to drop in your lap. If I got it, I know the Most High wanted me to have it. Why? Because I didn't seek it. I didn't chase it, right? I didn't force it. I didn't force it to go my way, right? When I heard the price, oh, whoa, that's a gift to me, right? What's the chances I'm gonna wind up with it too if it's such a great price, right? Oh, somebody's gonna beat me there. No, it was a great price, and I was able to go run and get up the money and come back, and it was still there. What you know what I mean? That's the Most High. It's the Most High, y'all. Right? So that's one thing you're gonna learn dealing with me. You're gonna relax. You're gonna relax in life, right? Guess who I am? I am the meek. Okay? In and out, through and through. I am the meek, right? You want to know what meek is? Watch I. Show you how to get this, right? Show you how to lean on the Most High for it. And we gonna go into this book, and this book breaks it down, and this book talks a lot. I got too much scripture. I know I'm not gonna get through this. It's gonna be another third one that we're gonna have to do a second installment of in order for me just to get what I got on this document, right? We gonna need two installments to this. Same way we needed two of the wisdom scriptures. Same way we needed two of the rich man, poor man. We'll be back with that if it be the Father's will this week, right? But we gonna keep it light, easy, and breezy, something to just roll into for the Sabbath, right? And we gonna talk. Let's shoot for an hour, 2 hours, right? If it's that good and time is blowing by that fast, we'll do 3 hours. That'll put us getting off of here, at about midnight my time. Man, it's past my bedtime. I don't be up this late, so I'll be knocked out early. Mine, so yes. I go to drag and things like this, so we're gonna try to stay up late. Like naughty children, you remember how good it used to feel to be when you used to be able to stay up late. And any moment, your parents are getting ready to say, "What you doing still up? Go get in the bed." It's gonna be all over with, right? Mope to the bed, yeah. But you're still happy because hey, I got to stay up later than usual this night, right? That's how I kind of feel right now, like I'm breaking some rules or something, like I'm, like I got some extra privilege going on. But yeah, I'm gonna be tired in a minute. I already kind of feel it coming on. But let's jump in this book though, and right, see what the Most High want to discuss with us in this grand scheme of time called right now. Come on, what we gonna do? Where we gonna go? Where we gonna go to? Just go ahead and jump it off with our forefathers, right? Abraham, Isaac, and Jake. Right, we're gonna start at Ecclesiasticus 44 at the 19th verse. We're gonna roll this. This story rolls over into the 45th chapter, right? So let's start going with this. Because it's a reason why Abraham, through Isaac, through Jacob, it's a reason why they were chosen, fam. Right? The Most High didn't just choose them for any reason, right? It was things that they did. It was a way that their heart was. Out of everybody in the earth, it was a way that their hearts were that got them chosen and had the Most High say, I'm going to jump behind you, right? For whatever the duration of this earth is, I'm going to jump behind you. I'm going to be close to you. I'm going to lead you. I'm going to guide you. And when I want to deal with this earth, I'm going to deal with this earth through you. I'm going to give it to you and you going to give it to the earth. That's what it means to be the chosen people of God, y'all. The chosen people of the Most High. Sorry if I offend you calling him God, but, we don't want to run anybody off. And we're going to use it all because it's about togetherness, right? It's about coexisting. Right? So I'm going to get a Bruise yours. I'm going to get a Christian's yours. Right? You who may have no faith at all, I'm going to give you yours. You know him as God. Right? All praise to the Most High. So, we're going to give everybody theirs. Mine. Well, let's go ahead and jump off this boat and start swimming. We're at Ecclesiasticus chapter 44, verse 19. It says, Abraham was a great father of many people, right? And Abraham is the father of many nations. All of the nations fighting right now are children of Abraham, right? You call them white people today. You call them Arabics today, right? You call them black people today. You call them Spanish and Hispanic and things like this, right? On the West Coast, we call them Chicano, right? We got a lot of names. Mine, all children of Abraham, right? Abraham was a father of many people. In glory was there none like unto him. There was none like unto him. He took it upon himself. He crushed idols. And the father said, aha, him right there, right? At that very moment, the Father, the creator of heaven and earth, he cleaved to Abraham and he did not let him go. From that point and forward, right? Now, what was it in Abraham that made him want to do that? Spirit of God, y'all. Crushed them idols. Crushed his dad's idols, right? His dad was in the graven images. Yikes. Verse 20, who kept the law of the Most High, right? That's dedication to the Most High. Moses is his grandson, right? His great-great-grandson. That's who came down off the mount with the etched tablets, right? So what is this talking about? How did Abraham keep the law of the Most High? Guess who else kept it? Adam. You know what his law is? It's not those tablets, fam. His law was fashioned in the earth before it was a conversation or before we ever broke it or any of that, right? So Adam and Eve, they were running around the Garden of Eden like two autistic kids, right? They didn't know up from down. They didn't know nothing. They didn't know, right? They didn't know what they was doing if they was doing wrong. They didn't know they were doing wrong. They didn't know. And that's what that serpent came and brought, right? Oh, he told you to stay away from that tree, huh? He told you that because he don't want you to be like him. He don't want you to be as gods, right? Go ahead, bite that fruit that he told you not to bite so that you can become wise and as gods, right? If you become wise, what is that? You would need that. So it was that serpent that put that on mankind back, right? Because he knew if I could get you focusing on this, when you fall off from that, come on home, baby, you're mine, right? And it worked immediately. Why? Because it wasn't love to bite the fruit. Do what your father told you to do. He said, stay away from that tree. So when they ate that fruit, that was a trespass against the Father, y'all. They rolled over on this right there. They rolled over on love, right? It stretches from the heavens between us and the Most High, and then it comes into this earth, and then it stretches across us, each other, men, women, the brothers and the sisters, right? Love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance, right? Yes, yes, yes. Soon as he bit, he had him. And right there, Adam lost dominion, right? He lost dominion and control of the earth and all of that. And he was doomed to die. And he was doomed to stay in line with the nine or else. Stay in line with the divine nine or that's your behind. Right? Man, the serpent got him, y'all. Right? So, if Abram, way back there, as verse 20 says, who kept the law of the Most High, what was it? It was to love, fam. It was to do right by men. You see that? It's natural. And you know when you're going to roll over on somebody. You know when you're being selfish. You know when you're vaunting in yourself, right? I know this ain't right. I know I shouldn't want this. I know it's going to hurt this guy to have this when I take this, when I do what I'm going to do to have this, right? It's going to hurt this guy. But guess what? I want this thing that bad. Thou shalt not covet, right? Y'all see that? Well, guess what? Abraham wasn't that kind of guy. Abraham was a good guy. He was going to look out for you. He wasn't going to roll over on you. And guess what? When he looked and saw all his father's idols, he going to crush them. Why? Because he had God on his mind. Right? Why are you serving these things? Why are you serving these porcelain idols? Right? No, no, no. We serve our creator, right? Why are you so into these things that you made with your own hands, right? And he busted them up. That's our father Abraham, y'all. Those are the loins that we come out of. Con? Yes, yes, yes. Abraham was a great father of many people. In glory was there none like unto him. 20, who kept the laws of the Most High and was in covenant with him, right? He established the covenant of his flesh. What covenant? That's the law of circumcision, right? And when he was proved, he was found faithful. All he went through, he never rolled over on the Most High. He still ended up in good standing with the Most High, right? We seen quite a few start out good with the Most High, and through their trials and everything they went through, when they cut up out of this earth, they wasn't on good terms with the Most High, right? Saul wasn't, okay? Solomon wasn't. God? Moses wasn't on good terms with the Most High when he gave up the ghost, right? Quite a few men that started out good with the Most High, they didn't pass off that way. Man, yes. So, man, shout out to the ones who died in a good standing with the Most High, as our forefather Abraham did, right? Isaac, Jacob. Isaac went out with the Most High kind of owing him, because the Most High knew what Isaac wanted, and he was like, nah, already chose Jacob, right? Isaac wanted Esau to get his main blessing, right? Yes. So the Most High, he's going to make that right with Isaac, man, for Isaac's sake, right? Yes. Verse 21. Let's get verse 21. Therefore, he assured him by an oath, man, that he would bless the nations in his seed. Do you know who all of Abraham's seeds were? This stands for them, right? And that he would multiply him as the dust of the earth and exalt his seed as the stars. Right? The stars are up high, and it's a whole lot of them, right? So the Most High was like, I'm going to do that again. What I did in the heavens with all of these angels, I'm going to do that in the earth with you, right? So the beginning, as the Father spoke in the beginning, back here in these Genesis and all of that, it'll tell you a lot about why things winded up the way they did in Revelation, right? It all started from somewhere. Israel are going to be angels and all of that, right? We know about that. Book proves that. But when I left up out of here, I knew it wasn't the end of that. I knew he was going to choose more. Guess who? Well, we see right here, he promised Abraham's seed. Guess who else that is? Look who's prevalent in the earth. It's not only Jacob. Jacob got it hard right now, right? We don't have money. We have everything else. That's why they make sure we don't get money. That's why they work so hard to make sure, right, we don't get the diamonds and gold, right? Because if we get that, we got everything, right? So that's why the meek are special, because they know what they have. They know they don't need to be a gold getter. They know they don't need the diamonds and gold of the earth. They feel full already in this diaphragm already, right? It's all right here, right? I feel like gold and diamonds already. I don't need to go chasing gold and diamonds. I am gold and diamonds, okay? Huh? We don't see that. We don't see something chasing what it is. We don't see diamonds and gold chasing diamonds and gold. We don't see that. right? If you felt like more, you wouldn't need that stuff either. You see that? I apologize if I offend you, right? But uh it's a mind state. It doesn't mean that you're not diamonds and gold right now. You're diamonds and gold right now. You just ain't seeing yourself as that. So what? When you contact those things, you feel better about yourself. And nah, that's backward. And this is the beginning of us turning that back, right? You know, I pray he let me be here long enough to put that on the earth, sit that on y'all shoulders, and you know what I'm saying? All praise it to the Most High. Uh, that's what needs to be spread out here, y'all. It's a persona, it's a mind state, it's a whole understanding that comes with this, right? And man, it wasn't gonna come from nowhere else, or they would have gave it to you. But we're in these last days, and I understand what the Father did, y'all. I understand what he did. But that's what time it is now, though. You know, it's time to stop chasing the diamonds and gold and be the diamonds and gold, right? But and exalt his seed as the stars. That comma right there took my mind to that place. Took me into all of that I just said. We are Abraham's seeds. And the spotlight is on Jacob right now in these 12 tribes. And it's a very special soul coming out of Jacob to think about the whole earth, y'all. You think the Father's against that? There is no law against love. There isn't any, right? So, and that's the Jacob that he's counting, the one that looks at, right, the whole earth with pure eyes and loves everything. I'm Adam again. You are, right? That's who we are. You think Adam is in the Garden of Eden before he bit that fruit? You think he's hating anything, right? No, he laying around. He's naming his bugs. He has his wife, you know. He's going down to the stream of water and taking a drink. You know, he's plucking fruit off of trees and munching. You know, he's loving life and he loves everything and he loves every creation, right? And that's who we are morphing back into. You know, uh, what is complication? Hate, fam. Hate made all of this stuff complicated. Yes, yes, yes. Can you guys sniff out what's happening here? What's going on here? Right. We're crawling back into this. The exalted seed of the stars, right? Let's read on. And cause them to inherit from sea to sea. He's telling you who's going to get it, right? That's everything we just discussed right now. It led to us getting the earth from sea to sea. It's ours. It started as ours. It's going to go back that way. Of course, he going to jump shot it. But when he jump shots it, it's back in our hands. It's ours again. Our enemies are defeated, right? Oh, never mind that one. I got you guys another one. I got you another. Check out this earth, right? Check out this new earth. Yes, 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 y'all. Yikes. right? And from the river unto the uttermost part of the land. 22, with Isaac did he establish likewise for Abraham his father's sake the blessing of all men and the covenant, right? So that just basically just told us, hey, you know, he gave us a good vision of what he had going with Abraham, right? So in 22, he just let us know, hey, I passed that down to Isaac, right? And this is the last verse of chapter 44, and it says, and made it rest upon the head of who? Jacob. So he showed us the covenant travel through Abraham, come from Abraham, go through Isaac, and then it's done at Jacob. It rests on Jacob, right? So any child Jacob has, it's going to rest on all of them. Now you have yourself a children of Israel, right? And made it to rest upon the head of Jacob. He acknowledged him in his blessing and gave him an heritage and divided his portion among the 12 tribes. Did he part them? So I said that last time we was live. This is not how. How can it fight itself, right? Now, when you make one special, you do this. One special, one is not. It's natural for what to happen. Bink. They fight, right? They're going to clash now. Right? Like Sister Sarai Judah said, right? We do it as one. There's no dividing that. Right? Quam. One body, one spirit. All, you know what I'm saying? We banged that joint not long ago. And it's just, it's called One. That's the name of the song. One is special. One, long as you got one, it doesn't have anything to fight with. You're not going to fight yourself. You're not going to fight yourself. Right? So, that's important, fam. And we see what happened to us. The Most High made us special in the earth. Whole earth came against us. Well, guess what? It's everybody against. Ain't no allies now. Ain't none. We're bringing that back now. We're bringing oneness back now. All of these people in the earth, they claim to be one, but they're separate in their mind. They see each other different. And they're selfish and everything else. They have their reasons why they feel how they feel. They have their reasons why they're involved with one another, right? But us, I'm going to push for us to, right? There will never be any reason for us to hate each other. Why? Because we're going to split everything. Have all things in common, right? Nobody wants to do this. The instructions is here in this book. Nobody wants to do it. Have all things in common. Name them. Look at every group in the earth. Look at those leaders. They all say taking this chunk for me, right? That's what's gonna make us different. And it was never, it was never an idea in the earth, right? It was never an idea before now to do this right. The spirit wasn't here. Mama wasn't here. And we see all throughout this book, when she is missing, we suffer. So we've been suffering, but with everything I went through and everything I've been talking about since I've been going live with y'all, we're about to do this right, fam. We're going to do this right. So now I see why things had to go down the way they went down, y'all. Because the Father saw this and he was like, it's time to do this, right? Yes, yes, yes. And that's why we ain't growing as quickly as others may have, because it's a different pedigree of a worshipper, right? We're not going to come fast as everybody else. You see that? No, this is a different heart and soul that's coming among us, right? People who don't want to get on this, people who don't want to be as pure as this, oh, they taking off running. They're not staying among us. They get an ear full of this, man, they out of here, right? It's saying 20 people in here right now, but when I get off of here, it's going to say that there was 3, 4, 100 people in here, right? It's a lot of people in here. It's a lot of people listening. It's a lot of people not staying. But the people who are staying, yikes. The people who are staying, okay? Man, man, man. It's that heart. It's that mind. It's ruled by mama. It's right. It's the end days worshipper. We're shutting it down. We're here to shut this earth down. Con? And yeah, last week, best week. Best week, y'all. So it's the spirit is getting stronger and stronger and more prevalent out there as we go. It's only getting stronger. It hasn't went backward. It's only gaining, right? Yes, yes, yes. And we are expanding, fam. We're expanding out there. And yeah, that's why we had a problem, with the old church. Because they knew before I knew. We expanded, fam. Something happened out there. And it laid over on us and we didn't even know what was going on. But the spirit is out there. The spirit is out there moving and it's upbraiding people out there. So, what we saw was a response, It was a response to what we got going on over here and what's spreading out here, fam. So, man, I feel for them, I would never apologize for mama spreading, but I do feel I feel along with them brothers, man. They got, they feel like they got attacked. So all praise it to the most high. Yeah. YouTube unsubscribed you for some reason. Uh yeah, they're trying to keep a brother down, man. That went up last time. Most I seen subscribe when I got off of here was 3 people. And the last time when we got off, we had 9 new subscribers, fam. Right? So yeah, and I told y'all they trying to keep this page down here, right? But I took them restrictions off, and now more people are able to see and things like that. And it made this page available to more people. And that's what I'm trying to do. I told y'all I'm trying to get back in this algorithm. I'm trying to get this page good and reinstated and like a regular page, and get all of this stigma off of this page, so that we can reach who mama need to reach out there, and to keep that flow coming through, con. And I could tell it worked last time. When we got off of here, we had 9 new subscribers. So yeah, they looking at that, and they against us, fam. And we're gonna have to find another platform, most likely. I've been looking around. I've been looking at some other stuff, you know, and we might have to shake this, because they not gonna let us shine too hard over here. You know, uh, as much as we grow, it's gonna be some people fighting to keep us low, right? So that's probably why they unsubscribed you, right? And that might be the reason why you guys complain so much about not getting your notification. They probably unsubscribing y'all, so I would check that out. And even if you are still subscribed, I would unsubscribe and resubscribe, right? And hit the bell all over again and do that stuff all over again, and you might start getting your notifications again. But we gonna roll with the punches. Whatever punches they throw at us, we gonna roll with them, because everything is at the most high's uh judgment, his will. They can't stop that. They can't stop his will, you know. Uh so at whatever pace and however we gotta get hit and lose, and go backwards a little bit, and lose a little momentum here and there, I know we gonna gain it back. And so it's all good, because the most high is gonna see to it, and you know uh he's gonna reach who he reaches, you know as he sees fit. And it ain't nothing that could stop that. But at the same time, I am gonna do what I can. If I see something that I could do, you know I mean, it is faith and works. You could have the thoughts in your head all you want, but until your fingers move, baby, right? You know, he'll put the food there, but we gotta cook it. Okay? Yes, yes, yes. So that's where we at with this. We ain't gonna do nothing but expand, y'all. And if you're paying attention, we expanding, ain't it? Yes, yes, yes. Uh, so we came up out of that chapter 44. We're about to go into chapter 45, right? In the book of Ecclesiasticus, right? So if you just popped in, we just came out of Ecclesiasticus 44, where we're about to go into Ecclesiasticus 45, because you know uh, the story that we're reading right now, it stretched over two chapters, right? The end of one and the beginning of the next one. So let's continue reading. It just told us about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and how the Father's covenant floated through they three, right? So, verse 1 of chapter 45, and it says, and he brought out of him a merciful man. He's talking about Jacob, right? He's talking about Jacob, and he brought out of him a merciful man, y'all. That's what makes the Most High's world go round. That's what the Most High counts as something, right? The go-getter is aggressive, y'all. He's not merciful. He ain't taking no prisoners either. He's shutting you down, off with his head, right? I'm the go-getter. I'm moving forward. I don't move back. I don't stall. I don't give mercy. I'm taking you out. I got to take you off of here. Sorry. Right? Plowing. And that's the only one language he understands. He don't understand mercy. Right? You know, it's going to be a major deal for him to show some mercy. I ain't saying he won't ever show it. He'll show it. But he's not built on that. Right? You can't give him the credit of a merciful man just because he shows a little mercy here and there, right? That's not a merciful man. But guess who was merciful? Jacob is, right? And he brought out of him a merciful man. So the Most High brought that out. If the Most High didn't put it in there, he can't bring it out, right? The Most High brought that merciful man out of Jacob and did what? And found favor in the sight of all flesh, right? Which found favor in the sight of all flesh, right? So, even as the world hates Jacob, they still favor him, right? They still favor Jacob. Why? Because they know he's merciful. And they know that if it wasn't for this separation here, now you have two mouths that can eat at each other, right? When we all just had one mouth, you can't eat at each other if you got one mouth. But when you separate, now there's two mouths and right? But before that, even as that happened, they know who Jacob is and they are fond of Jacob, right? Which found favor in the sight of all flesh. Everybody knows who Jacob is, y'all. The world knows who Jacob is. You know how many nationalities that done branched off and spread it? You know how many nations you ain't never heard of in some pocket of earth somewhere? All of these people, right? Everybody knows who Jacob is, and he's poor. He doesn't run anything, right? He doesn't lead any countries. He's not any presidents or none of that, right? So how does the whole earth know Jacob the way they do? Right? Because it is, y'all. It's telling us how. And it should be easy to depict who he is. Reading this, right? Even Moses, beloved of God and men. So we're on Moses now. We done came down from Abraham, Isaac to Jacob. We know Jacob had 12 sons, and now it's down into Moses, right? Concerning probably the Levitical priesthood, right? But let's just read it. Even Moses, beloved of God and men, whose memorial is blessed, right? The way we remember Moses is blessed. He gave us them tablets, right? He came down off of that mount. Verse 2, he made him like the glorious saints and magnified him so that his enemies stood in fear of him. All of that stuff he did with Moses and that stick, right? He threw it out, it turned into a serpent, right? He turned water into blood with it. He did all kind of stuff. He split the Red Sea with it, right? Smoked their firstborn, did all of that. Man, they was scared of Moses, right? That God that's with him, yikes. But they keep fighting. Why? Because the Father makes them. They have no choice. Against their own will, they keep going up against Moses and getting crushed. And they're going to do that in the end with Christ too. They're not going to want to fight Christ either. Still haven't been able to jump in here and look for that verse yet, but I'm going to find it, y'all. And it's going to be glorious when I bring it forward. And you're going to see, because you're going to, it shows us who's who, right? A lot of these people think they're on Christ's side. And that's going to show who they are, because they're not going to want to fight him. They're going to be like, we thought we was on your team. Like, no, let's get busy. I told you to be sheep, right? Sheep in the midst of wolves, right? I told you to be harmless as doves. But guess who you were? You were the go-getter. The aggressive man. You weren't, that's not meek, fam. That's the opposite of meek. Meek is on the other end of the spectrum, y'all. He's more calm. He's going to cuff his hands in front of him, right? And you're going to call him weak for that. He's not weak. He's waiting, as the scripture says, wait on the Lord. The go-getter, he takes it upon himself and he conquers the earth, and that's how he gets everything that he got, right? Most High didn't give you that. And everywhere, everybody who's going to crack open this book, they're going to tell you to get out there and get what's yours and take what's yours and blah. Nah, no. Wrong instruction. I'm strange talking like this, y'all. I am listening to me right now. It's making perfect sense. And you like, yeah. So I have to voice it that, they don't feel like this, fam. They're going to hear this and say, Bronze is crazy. Don't listen to him, right? You don't work. You don't eat. Oh, yeah. I'll jump in it. I'll take that sentence right there and I'll jump in this book and I will rip you to pieces. Okay. No. If you're, from a cursed mind state, if you don't work, you're going to starve to death. If your faith is way down here, me? Oh, tie me up, right? Put my wrists and my ankles together and just leave me here. Somebody gonna stumble across this land that ain't theirs, it's mine, right? And my family's. And they gonna, man, somebody's in here need help, and they don't know, right? They don't know where the thought's gonna be coming from. But they're gonna come in here. I may be hungry, I may be dried, I may have lost all kind of weight, right? But somebody gonna come in here and they're gonna put some food in my mouth, right? And they're gonna untie me, okay? Right? If I don't do nothing, the Father is gonna find a way to get it to me. And if he doesn't, guess what? Sapphire, all praises to the Most High. Here I come, Father, right? Back through the roads I've once been through, right? Space roads, right? Oh, yeah, I remember coming through here. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, I remember coming, right? Can't touch me. And guess what? Can't touch you. You could make yourself an enemy of that, and he'll show you, or else roll with me. I welcome everybody, right? I have people who count me as an enemy. I don't count anybody as no enemy, right? I have open arms for all men. I love them all. I don't care what we've been through. I don't care, right? Because I know if you knew better, you wouldn't have done what you did and you wouldn't have led how you led. And I know it's very possible that you could snap out of it one day and want nothing more than just to be my friend. And guess what? I want to be yours. Right? But yeah. The best friendships start with a war. Peace is on the other side of war sometimes, right? Peace is like stations. You get to the station, you relax, right? Okay, but this ain't home, so we gotta hit it. Let's go, and you through war, you know. But you're gonna come to another station. Oh, that's peace. You're gonna sit down again, right? So, you know, I love peace, man, and I'm in peace. Even when I'm in war, I'm still in peace, right? I know the eyes of the earth ain't trained to see that and understand it. But believe me when I tell you, even when you see me in war, it's because they want to do that, not because I want to, right? And I'm in peace even as I deal with a scorpion. I'm in peace, right? But yeah, this is painting a picture, y'all. Moses, beloved of God and men whose memorial is blessed, he made him, right, like the glorious saints. Because, Moses was in his head a lot. He was in his head space a lot with who he was. And he was down on himself. He was meek, you know. He felt weak. He didn't believe in himself and all of that. So that means I'm with Moses on that. I know what the Father is talking about when he says he made him like the glorious saints. Even though with his speech impediment and all of that he was dealing with, he made him, like to the glorious saints. You're a glorious saint too, Moses, right? And guess what? He gave you the covenant and you came down off of that mountain with it. And what we call these commandments today, you brought them down off of that mount, Moses, Mount Sinai, and all that. And guess what he did? He magnified him in the next comma. He magnified him, y'all, right? So that his enemies stood in fear of him. They were scared of Moses. 3, by his words, he caused the wonders to cease. All that he was doing with that stick, right? Far exceeded anything that they knew how to do. But before Moses started talking, man, they was the cream of the crop of the earth, right? That Egyptian Pharaoh, man, couldn't nobody see it. That was the America of that day, right? You wasn't touching that Egyptian Pharaoh in that day. He was the baddest thing, right? Yes, yes, yes. By his words, he caused the wonders to cease, and he made him glorious in the sight of kings. Brought him from the bottom, made him glorious in the sight of kings, and gave him a commandment for his people. That's how you know the Most High is involved. He's not going to just send you and you're going to keep messing up, right? No, he's going to send you with a commandment. He's going to send you with a way that was hidden, right? Did we not come with that, fam? Did we not link that? We got that. We got all of this. You're going to see all of this that's been named. You're going to exclude everybody else. You're going to be able to count us to have it. Right? And gave him a commandment. That's the 9. That's the same thing. It's no different. We didn't have it before. How many times have we said, keep the commandments, keep the commandments? You didn't have them. And you stayed constantly mad at everybody. Oh, you was this kind of sinner and breaker of the law. We didn't have it. We was seeing through a glass darkly, right? We was knowing in part and prophesying in part. You didn't have the commandments, right? You had the separate statutes, and you were trying to keep them all one by one. Impossible. It wasn't meant to be kept that way. It was made to understand it as these 9 fruits. Once you know you can't roll over on love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, or temperance, you got the whole law in that. Period. Okay? Done deal. You're not going to do anything to any neighbor of yours or the Most High who created us all. You're going to be in a good standing with all of them, right? Yes, yes, yes. Bottom line, that should be the end of that conversation, but it ain't. We got to keep on talking and keep bringing forth more of this understanding, right? This last day understanding, this end times understanding, the stuff that, it's time to shut the earth down, fam. You're looking at what's going to make Christ come, right? And shewed him part of his glory. Part of his glory, y'all. It was part of the glory, y'all. Right? And oh man, I got some scriptures in here. I hope I get to them because it tells us, man, how simple this is. It was never complicated, right? It was never hard. We just didn't understand it. And it promised to bring it at us in these last days. It would become simple to us. And we would understand it and we would tackle it like it wasn't nothing. Okay? And showed him part of his glory. Y'all see that? It was prophesied before it ever happened. It was prophesied right here that you were going to know in part and prophesy in part and go through all that we've gone through behind this law and behind these commandments, right? Yes, yes, yes. He needed all of that to happen so that we can know how valuable this law was, so that we can know how valuable it was what he gives us right now, right? What we came back from the sapphire with, right? He had us to understand. He had us go through all of that to understand what we got today. So who are you? Somebody that's not going to understand that? Yikes. Why? Pride. Pride, y'all. And because of him. Why him? He's this and that. He this kind of rebel. They're calling me a rebel right now, fam. What I rebel against? Not this, right? This is the only thing beckoning and leading me. I'm in line with this. Oh, so I'm a rebel to you. Into what? Okay, all right. Say that. If that's what that is, then say that. All praise it to the Most High, right? But verse 4, he sanctified him in his what? In his faithfulness. It starts there. You're not gonna do none of this in this earth if you don't believe that he's there, right? So I dealt with that, and even from the beginning, how I came into the truth was different. I needed faith, but I needed a different type of faith, right? And then the sapphire, and that's different. I don't need faith anymore. I need patience now, right? And I saw how, that was dangerous. Another brother could have went to the sapphire and came back here and blabbed everything he knew, right? And not had the patience to sit here and go through this and let everything play out, right? With the wrong attitude and things like that, man, you get back here, you'll mess that up. I feel strong right now. I'm not even thinking about falling off in no way or disappointing the Father in no way. But I know that man, somebody else might blow that, because we be wanting things. We be wanting too much, y'all, and we don't know how to keep our hands off of stuff and step back and just let things be what they are, So, I mean, a lot of discipline comes with this, fam, right? A lot of discipline. But guess what this says? He sanctified him in his faithfulness. And what's next? Meekness, y'all. And guess what meekness is? The opposite of a go-getter, y'all. He needed somebody that could cuff their wrists in front of him and just sit back and just watch. Watch and speak. According to what he sees, he's talking. And it's offending a great big majority of the earth. If they don't like what he's saying, right? But for the few people who count, they're like, aha. They're being fed by it, right? And that's how this looks, fam. That's how it's going to be. But guess what? Faithfulness, that's you. Meekness, that's me. And chose him out of all men. All men, fam. Guess who that's going to be? Somebody rich? No. Somebody with everything? No. It's going to be the man with nothing. I was a part of them when he pulled the trigger on this thing, right? I had to come out in order to even get going on any of this. Talking about the bottom, we came from the bottom. We went all the way down, baby. I got some videos back there with like 50 views. We went all the way down and worked our way back to wherever we are now, right? Yes. Talking about we don't know how to build nothing. Watch this, right? And that's the Most High saying that, not me. And whatever the Most High will be, whatever his will, You know, he might halt us right here. We may never get no bigger than this. And just be that little quiet little corner where, you blessed to hear and decide against and keep going on about your way, because that's what the scriptures say is going to happen. Most people are going to refuse the medicine in this earth because it's not for all of them. It's only for like a few people. We are a minute few, y'all. Why? Because everybody don't have faithfulness. Everybody is not interested in meekness, right? As verse 4 says here. Verse 5, he made him to hear his voice. Can you hear his voice? If you could hear his voice, you would be meek. You would know you don't need to be no go-getter, right? Go listen to easily entreated. That song put a spirit in this earth that wasn't here. It wasn't here, y'all. Go listen to easily entreated. Listen to every word. It's a long song. It's a long song. I go into a bunch of scriptures at the end of it. It's a pretty long song, right? I rap a couple verses. I do a couple hooks. But man, when that book come open at the end of that thing, right? Oh man, I stepped on some toes. And I can understand why I probably wasn't favored, you know, by leadership, you know. The regular brothers and sisters are crazy about me, right? And I can imagine that maybe caused something, that I never found out about. Some talks, that never reached me but did happen. I can imagine, right? But we been who we are in this earth, y'all. This ain't new. This ain't new. We just kind of stepping in. We kind of stepping into the outfit, right? He made him to hear his voice and brought him into the dark cloud and gave him commandments before his face. You know what that's talking about, fam? That's talking about Moses and the few people that he took with him. And that the prophecy of the sapphire, the Most High showed Moses and a few other brothers that. And that's what we're reading when I bring out Exodus 24 and 10. That's what's happening there. And that's what this is talking about here. This is talking about Moses and when he saw that. He saw the sapphire. Because the Most High showed Moses himself. It was Moses and a few other people Moses took with him to see. I think Moses had 2 people with him, and it was 3 of them total. And ain't that what we need as witnesses? Where 2 or more are gathered. So Moses had 2 of his boys, right? And when we talk about the sapphire, that Exodus chapter 24 and 10, he's looking at the Most High, but he looks down and he sees the sapphire, right? And that's how we got that scripture, with Moses looking at the Most High in the heavens, but he peers down up under the Most High, and then that's how we get that verse, right? Let's go to it. Let's halt real quick and go there. Right? Exodus 24 and 10. And they saw the God of Israel, right? And there was under his feet, that's when they peered down, right? As it were a paved work of a sapphire stone, as it were what? The body of heaven in his clearness, right? So, hold up. Matter of fact, let's go back. And he sent, let's go back to verse 9. And he sent young men of the children of Israel, right? Which offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of ox, right? Unto the Lord. And Moses took half of the blood, right? And they do a ritual. No, that was verse 5, my fault. I meant to go to verse 9. Okay, so it was 4 of them. Then went up Moses and Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, right? Or Abihu, and 70 of the elders of Israel, right? Let's go one back. And Moses, hold up, right? And Moses took the blood and sprinkled it on the people and said, behold, the blood of the covenant which the Lord has made with you concerning all these words. Then went up Moses and Aaron, right? Nadab and Abihu and 70 of the elders of Israel. And they saw the God of Israel. And then it goes into it. Okay, so, whoa, he had all 70 of them elders with him too. Yikes. I forgot about that part. So a lot of people saw that vision with them. But yeah, they separated from the rest of the nation and they went and they saw that. So it was what? 74 people, 70 elders, Moses, his brother, and 2 men. Right? So, and this is a precept of that, right? By his words, he caused the wonders to cease, and he made him glorious in the sight of the kings and gave him a commandment for his people. That's when he got the law, right? The law came out of them dealing with that and running up and down off of that mountain and dealing with the Most High. The law came out of that, right? And showed him parts of his glory. Now, here's the magic verse: and sanctified him in his faithfulness and meekness, and chose him out of all men of the all men out of all men, right? Salakia. Verse 5, he made him to hear his voice and brought him into the dark cloud, y'all, and gave him commandments before his face, even the law of life. Anytime you see Life, that's mama, y'all. She is the only one person the Most High sent that through. That's how it comes from him. It goes through her and it goes through everywhere else. Right? It comes from the Most High. It goes through his wife. It comes out of the mouth of his son, right? His son is the mouth, which the mouth made everything that is, right? So what's coming through the Kakama Waf, through the Yasha, what is that? Life. It's life. It's breath. It's a lot of things. It's wisdom. It's the thoughts of the mind, right? It is the power of life. It is the energy that makes alive. It is electricity, right? Understand that, fam. And when you understand that, you understand that that electric charge, you would chase it everywhere it is. And you would stop eating dead food, right? Because your food has to be alive. Your food has to carry that life, because we have that life in us. So that has to be in your food. And it's deliberate when you eat a sacrifice, when you know you're eating something dead, because you're doing it on purpose, right? You know you're eating a sacrifice. It's not going to nurture. It's not for that. It's for a covenant, right? Yes, yes, yes. Yikes. Let that swirl around your head a little bit. You might not get right. We don't always get it right off, and I understand. We don't always get it right away. You got to let it swirl around, right? You might have to take a whole week and just, right? But yeah, it's calculated, y'all. Nothing we do is for nothing. Everything we do, it has an origin. It's coming from something and all that. Right? But he made Moses to hear his voice. Everybody can't hear his voice. Right? He could talk. Oh man, we don't hear. We still keep making the same mistakes. We think we understand. We try as hard as we can to understand. And we think we have it, and we don't be having it, y'all. And we go and we make our own life hard, right? Why? Because he don't want you to hear. He's not talking to you, right? He made him to hear his voice. Why would it be such a big deal if everybody got that, right? No, at this time he only chose Moses, right? And brought him into the dark cloud. What's the dark cloud? That's the thing he be doing to me all the time, right? When I get that tunnel vision and all I could see is right here. I leave here. I'm not here. I'm sitting here, yeah. But all of this goes black, and that's what it looked like a screen. And I see how them trying to explain that, they called it a dark cloud, right? Because that's what it's like. But you can only see right here. And what you know what it reminds me a lot of? Like a movie theater, right? That's what it's like a projector coming on, shoom, and he showed. I've seen so much stuff like that, y'all, since I've been back from the Sapphire, right? And when I can share it, I do. And I know when he wants me to share it. I know when he wants me to share it. I have almost shared a few things, and I was like, nah. And then I was happy I didn't. Yay, yes, yes. Because he showed me, yeah, thank you for not, right? So, what I'm saying, I know he wants me to share, right? Yes, yes, yes. But this is that same dark cloud, y'all. And guess what? And gave him commandments before his face. That's gonna change. What what he wants us to do is gonna change when he sends a new message. Commandments are gonna come with that, y'all. A whole new way of acting is going to come with that, right? Even the law of what? Life and knowledge. What is life? What is knowledge? The mind. Knowing, right? You're going to know life. It was harder for them back then. We had a whole bunch to learn to get to this point right here. But back then, he gave them what he wanted them to know. And guess what they did? They took it and they killed each other with it. Why? Because he had to solidify that barbarian attitude and mind state, right? And that all of the carnalness that came out of that, right? Me and Peasy was talking about this earlier today, right? Man, he had us go through all of that, y'all, so that in this last day we could appreciate how easy he made this in this last day. It wouldn't have been it wouldn't have meant anything to us back then if he made it this easy back there. Why does Christ come? Why do we have lamentations? Why do we go into captivity? Why does Judah spread, right? Why do we do any of this if this earth was made as a course to go through like a timeline. And by the time we ready to get up out of here, we done milked this earth for everything it was worth. And now, jump shot, swish. Oh, right? Whoa, where'd they go? Right? He gonna shoot it, and he didn't make a floor for it. So it's gonna fall forever. Oh! It's gonna fall forever. What is it gonna land on? It don't got nothing to land on, fam. It's gonna fall forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Right? Yes, yes, yes. But the law of life and knowledge that he might teach Jacob his covenants. So that's what he taught. And what was it? Individual statutes. You see how that had to be established? Individual statutes. Y'all don't do this. Don't do that. I counted over. They said 613. I counted way over that when I went in here and I broke down this law. Shout out to y'all who saw that note that I made back in the days, and we've been sharing it for maybe 12 years, right? Right? I think I had 628. And that's probably because whoever got the 613, they was missing some stuff, right? That's a law right there. And I had them all. It started at number 1. It went all the way to like 628 laws, right? And some laws are, they come as collateral damage, how to get back right after you mess some stuff up. And I don't know if they were counting those or not. But yeah. And he might teach Jacob the covenants, y'all. Individual statutes. We needed all of that. We needed that. How could we appreciate this? We had to get them separate laws first. And Israel, his judgments. That's what the law is. The Father's judgments, his decisions, right? Decisions he made long ago, right? Before there was the earth, he knew about all of this. This is the way he is. These are his pet peeves, right? This is what he likes and doesn't like, right? And the ways he made this earth and the things he made this earth to serve and the ways he made this earth to work, right? All of that was embodied in the beginning. And that's why, it was a big deal for him to expose those judgments and those decisions to Israel. The rest of the world didn't have it, but they wanted it and they got it, right? But Israel was special. And when you get special, what you get? Separation. Now, two mouths are going to, right? Anytime you get a separation, they're going to turn against each other, right? And up till right now, anytime the Father separated them, they chomped at each other. For the first time ever, we're not going to chomp back. We're not separating to be big and bad and go to war. We understand that war is not our forte. It's not the right time, right? That's over. That's back there. That's back there, fam. We got nothing to prove through war or through trying to hurt anybody. Nah, we're here to speak to a few people with ears, and we getting up out of here, right? Fighting with anybody was not part of anything in the Sapphire. Matter of fact, the Sapphire was all love, y'all. All love. No other emotion, right? No other emotion, y'all. And that's how I know that they're all the same. You could call it love, or you could call it peace, joy, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. You could call it all of those, all of that stuff. You could call it charity, right? All of that stuff. Or you could just call it love. Or you could break that up into individual statutes, right? The law is love. The statutes are joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, right? You could go on down through them. Now you're talking individual statutes, right? Or you can call it the law or the commandments, things like this. Now, or you could go into the individual statutes, right? Thou shalt have no other God before me, right? Thou shalt remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. Thou shalt not steal, kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, right? Statutes. They break up, or you could call it one thing, the law. That's all we doing. Progressing. And it's the same thing. It's only one law. But as we get closer to the end, it just narrowing down, right? Like you put a big old piece of meat in a pot, right? But it's fat and it just boils off. And then in the end, man, it ain't as big as when you first put it in there. Everything is melted off of it. He did that with the law through the duration of the earth, right? So now it's time to get up out of here. So guess what? It's simpler than it has ever been. Right? Second Esdras, chapter 11. That's where we're going next. Second Esdras, chapter 11. We're focusing on the meek, right? That's what you want to be. You want to be the meek so that the fight for you, or you could be the go-getter and you can fight for yourself, right? And you can make all kind of errors. Guess what you're gonna do? Being a go-getter and fighting for yourself, guess who you gonna bust in the head? The very person that the Most High sends, the meek one. Oh, you in all kind of trouble. He meant no harm to you, but you busted him in the head. Cause you're seeing everything he's doing as a threat. He ain't even right. He would rather not threaten you. He would rather you not feel no threat. He never was a threat. He never was a threat to you, right? The meek don't mean you no harm, y'all. But with all of your fear and all of that, and with the tactics you've been rolling with up to this point, your aggressiveness and your go-getterness and all of this, and your aggression, all you know is to bust them in the head, right? Yes, yes, yes. That's what happened, y'all. Second Edges 11 and 42. We're going to start at 42. We're going to go to around about verse 46, right? Shout out to you if you got there. Come on. Second Edges 11 and 42 says, for thou hast afflicted the meek. Thou hast hurt the peaceable. Thou hast loved, but who'd you love though? But thou hast loved liars and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit. Oh, that's us, y'all. Brought forth fruit and has cast down the walls of such, right? Broke down whatever little shelter they was hiding at. You knew how to kick that in, right? And send them scattering and running off everywhere, right? Break their walls down. So that's us, y'all. Because ain't going to be no walls in the wilderness. We still need walls right now. We ain't going to need no walls after the wilderness. We're going to be with Christ, right? That's us right now, y'all. That's us in these scripts. When Edris saw this and wrote this, he was looking at me and you in this day, y'all. Pushing those. Let me read it again for you. For thou hast afflicted the meek. Y'all better pay attention to who afflicts the meek and know what team they're on when you see them doing that. I don't care who it is, right? I don't care if it's, the National Guard or the Army or your camp that he said it was, they'll put you out of the synagogues. My children ain't gonna be up in there no more when we get to this last day. We separate from that, right? So yes, this applies to your Israelite leaders as well. Con? Because who are they afflicting? For thou hast afflicted the meek, y'all. Read this Bible. Elder such a much. That's right. That's right, last letter, right? Whatever they chose to call themselves, right? Elder mighty such and such, right? Usually an animal or something, mighty lion, some strong stuff, some go-getter type stuff, right? We meek. For thou hast afflicted the meek. Yes. Thou hast hurt the peaceable. You don't want nothing but peace. You don't want no problem. He didn't want to go to war with you. He knew you was going to bomb, right? Oh, man, we can't compete with these guys, man. They big and bad, strong. Oh, man, they'll tear us up. in this earth. And they know it. That's why they want to do that. What? They want to, like, hold on, brother. you know? Nah, we don't want to do that because ours is up there and it ain't time yet, right? It's time to talk this talk and get these nine flowing out here. That's all we interested in. We don't got no ball and chain. We don't got no spike ball for y'all. Come on, right? No, that's not our office, right? Nah, ours is right here. Christ, the mouth, words, right? That's it. And when he came, that's what he was saying to be, right? Nah, you guys got this wrong. Listen, watch me. And what did he do? He cupped his hands over his wrist in front of him. Mouth, words, right? And it accomplished everything he meant for it to go accomplish, y'all. That's not who we are. We don't want to go to war with you, okay? We are the meek. You'll crush us, And they come against us, man, And that's how you know who they are, and that's how you know who we are. We are not the cops. We are not the army. We are not the president, right? We are not the National Guard. We are not the big, powerful churches. We are not them, right? Those churches and those mosques and all of that, right? The synagogues, all of, these big bad guys, man, you see their houses, man, and you know what they can afford to have done and all of that. They don't got to do nothing. They, back. They jump on the horn. Hey, I need this, that. Don't worry about the money. How much is it? 100,000? Oh, don't worry about it. We got that. Right? Oh, man, they can make anything happen. We're not them. But we got to hide. We got, we can't rent no Christian church. Right? Man, they'll set us ablaze up in there. Right? Nah, man. We gonna be up on a hill somewhere, on somebody's vineyard, Come to my house, and he got hills, I got some hills, and that's who we are. We are farmers, right? We are shepherd kings. That's who we are, and that's who we started out as, right? We're not the princes with all the gold chandeliers and the stairs that the Most High said don't build. If thou hast lifted up a tool upon it, thou hast polluted it. Our stairs are natural. We're going to walk up a hill and speak to the I am, right? How Moses did. Yes. That's our altars, okay? Okay, but I'm gonna give y'all that when you're ready. We're gonna bring it out, right? When we get there, we just making our way through. We're looking at the few things we're looking at. We're still in Romans, right? We still got the rich man, poor man. We still got to get that. We still got to get a lot of the wisdom scriptures and finish wrapping our mind around mama, And tonight we're looking at the meek. We got to understand these things, and I'm not setting this up, y'all. I didn't plan this, but I see what's going on, and I see what the Father is doing, and I see what Mama is doing, right? Oh, man, it's rolling out. I don't plan anything, y'all, right? We stumbled into all of this. Everything we dealing with right now, we stumbled into, right? And it's manifesting, but yeah, and has cast down the walls of such. They break our walls down, right? That's us, right? That's us who gonna be hard headed. We're gonna go get us a building, and as did thee no harm. So y'all didn't do them no harm. Whoever walls they break down, it can't be talking about these people today because they sharing the same buildings, right? They in there with crosses and Christmas trees and everything else, Nah, this ain't talking about them. It's talking about us. And this had to happen, y'all. That wasn't gonna happen long as I was up in there, right? Tweaking knobs, running the sound, right? Nah, that was nah. And you see, when it was time to jump off this boat and start swimming, it happened. So we can plan all we want. You can make all the plans you want to make. But Father's kingdom come, okay? Father's will be done, okay? I know we're all familiar with that, but do you know what it means? Right? It means, man, you don't know what tomorrow holds or who's going to be with you or who's, right? We don't know. What are you doing, Ron? You need to go outside? Come on. Hold up real quick, y'all. Come on, Ron. Come on, boy. You better go outside. You better not do no business in here. Good boy. Good boy. Go ahead. Go use it and come on back. Don't go too far. Teray gone, I think. All right, my fault. My fault. Had to let Rome out. Had to let Romeo out real quick. Back to this, though. Verse 42. For thou has afflicted the meek and has hurt the peaceable. Thou hast loved liars and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and has cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. Right? Who is that, y'all? Ooh, 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 ooh. If you if you understand it, if you understand what your book is telling you, okay? 43. Therefore is thy wrongful dealing come up unto the highest. Father's like, I heard about that. Yeah, I was watching. You didn't think I was watching? Right? Because they want to hope he didn't. They want to hope somehow they're still on his side or something, right? I don't know what the world thinks, right? And thy pride unto the mighty. Therefore is thy wrongful dealing come up unto the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty. Okay? He got beef. 44. The highest also has looked upon the proud times. Man, that's self-explanatory. We don't need to even break that down, right? And behold, they are ended. Your prideful times are over. And his abomination are fulfilled, right? Because there's a lot of time in between when you first start doing something and when he finally shuts it off, right? And any time in between where you start into where he cuts it, anywhere in between that, you can repent. And he has a chair for you. And you can go sit down in that chair, in the repentant chair, right? And you'll be safe there. You keep on fooling around doing what you're doing to where he does that and he cuts it at the neck. What makes him cut it at the neck? There's no more chairs for you to go sit down in when you repent. Okay, the repent section is full. You still over here fooling around. Guess what? Okay, cut the music. He gave us free will and he made the seats. You don't end up in the seat, right? Oh! Man, man, man. Woo-hoo. The highest also has looked upon the proud times, he said. And behold means, what did he see when he looked upon the proud times, right? He gonna tell us. They are ended. You missed it, right? And his abominations are fulfilled. You did that thing, right? When your abominations are fulfilled, you're trapped in that forever. You can't go backwards and fix a fulfilled in abomination, right? You can't fix that. That's why we got to repent beforehand and then we don't fulfill it, right? Yeah, we did it. It wasn't fulfilled. We wised up. We saw what we was doing. We repented. We came out of that. It's like he just watching the stopwatch. He just watching stopwatch, right? When he click it, where are you at? Where are you at on the course? And who's in the repentant section? That's what he's looking at. Soon as we get that 144 over, y'all, and I think we're close. And I think we weren't getting any for a long time. I don't think we understood the 9, and that's the seal that's going here. It's mama, right? It's the mind, y'all. But they have us focusing on the mark of the beast, right? How that's supposed to go into the mind or the right hand, right? They got us focused on that. Now we need to be focusing on the positive side over here. How do we get that, right? That's what we should have been focusing on. But he had us unaliving over that law, right? We just read that. We were knowing in part and dealing with all of what we was dealing with behind that. And then it's like he starts to stopwatch. Okay. Suck bronze in, sapphire, send him back. Okay. Bink. We rolling again, y'all. And mama is being sealed for real. He said he'll bring all things back to our what? Remembrance. We had it before. We gapped, right? We stopped getting it for a time. Moses, them, they had it. Christ came. The Israelites in the land at that time, they had it, right? I believe in the land of Africa. When we were playing marbles with diamonds, I believe they had it, right? The people who fled and things like that, they had it. We came over here. We went to these plantations. We dealt with all of that. We lost it, y'all. Thou shalt do what? Jeremiah 17:4. Discontinue from thine heritage and all that, right? That's when we discontinued, y'all. That wasn't the discontinuance when they was playing marbles in with diamonds in Africa, right? No. They knew they were Israelites. Some of them knew they were Israelites over here, right? But how many millenniums or Salakia, centuries, not millenniums, how many centuries on plantations and we forgot, right? We were still, when they brought a slave to the America, they were still writing in Hebrew, right? Still signing, they had to sign stuff. They were signing with Hebrew check marks and stuff. You know what I mean? Yes, yes, yes. So they knew who they were, even in the Americas, right? Yes, yes, yes. It's another kind of a guy who didn't know who he was, right? He got caught up. All his business was on that plantation. He let his whole heritage go, right? And when the last true brew died off that knew who he was, now all you had was these American guys, these American plantation brews, right? Now we don't know who we are, and we stacking up generations of that, right? That was prophesied to happen, right? That's Jeremiah 17, y'all. That was for them of that time. Wasn't talking about nobody else. No other time did we forget who we were. None of them other captivities did we forget that we were the Israelites. Soon as they let us go, we went home, right? We knew exactly where to go to and all of that. We wouldn't know where to go right now, right? In the places that they're calling Israel today, that ain't where we were, right? But let's keep reading this though, right? Where was we at? Verse 45. And therefore appear no more thou eagle, right? That was the eagle doing that to us. We know who the eagle is. Swift as the eagle flieth, right? And thou shalt come a people from a place thou hast not known, speaking the language that which thou hast not heard, and all of this, right? As swift as the eagle flieth and all that, right? But guess what? Man, the eagle, he's a go-getter. So he takes over the whole earth. So the people that you're counting as being with you and of you and for you and all of this, who's keeping you oppressed and who's helping you have nothing, and who's helping you poison yourself, and who's helping you read this Bible at the same time while you learn nothing and all of that, right? And take a poor people's money and not give them nothing back for it, right? Yeah, just keep working and just keep paying your tithes. That's not a friend of yours, fam. What do you have, right? Yikes. Sorry, I didn't even mean to say all of that. But hey, you can't hold truth back. Truth is its own entity, and it comes flying out when it wants to come flying out, right? You got officials and things. They get in front of a camera. You can't control truth. Truth, she's coming out when she wants to come out. That's another attribute of mama, right? Yes, yes, yes. Man, they get in front of that camera and throw a whole president under the bus. Like, man, you got up there and said that, right? Put something up under his car for him, right? Soon as he twists that ignition, yeah, buddy, you shouldn't have said that. You know, uh, yeah, we could try to hold back truth, but if we off and she wants to come out, we can't stop her. But it's in this book, and when you see this book and you can break this book down, you know what this book is talking about, right? Because I know y'all will see that verse 45 and listen to it say, and therefore appear no more, thou eagle. Oh, that's talking about the eagle. No, that eagle is Israelites wound up in that. Okay. Okay. Nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers. Oh, yikes. Nor thy malicious heads. Anywhere anywhere you can identify maliciousness, it's of that winged bird, y'all. Nor thy hurtful claws. We don't have those. We got nubs. We don't got no hurtful. That's not us, y'all. Nor all thy vain body. We are not vain. Oh, when we come in this book, we get it. Do we not? We get it straight out the sapphire. Mama, okay? The Holy Spirit, the divine nine, okay? We ain't in here talking about nothing vain. We're talking about the meek right now, not being a go-getter. That's vain. That's the pride of life, right? We on something else over here. We know it's, we've been saying that it's temporary. Well, it's time to cash in on that. So what do we focus on? The temporary stuff? Nah. We're focusing on the eternity right now because we're at the door. We're at the gate, fam. Now is the time to choose this or that. Choose the glitter or choose this eternity right here. We're shutting it down right now, right? We're going to struggle with this. We're going to struggle getting the 9, but we're on it and we're working on it and it's going to be effective. And this is it, y'all. This is what shuts it down. When you're going to know we're going to be getting the 9 out there, they're going to be sealing it, and she's going to be sealing us back in the head. Boop. Where is it? And in the forehead, it's a mentality and a mindset. All of that. Okay. The 9 is living in his mind. He's okay. Seal him. Boop. That's another one of the 144. Okay. The inkhorn is back. The angel is invisible and you can't see him, but he's marking you. He's counting you. Okay. Soon as you get where you need to be at those, and it's been easy having it. Dad, you letting all your junk go. You ain't tripping off of you. You got out on the pet peeves you had when we start talking about this. That stuff gone, fam. Right? We stretching across a couple of lines now. Nothing is stopping us from getting Christ's elect. You know? They're throwing Christ's elect away out there behind a pet peeve. Oh, he don't know this. Oh, he believes in that. Oh, right? Oh, he wears this. And right? Silly reasons. They throwing Christ's elect in the trash. Christ is like, hold on, wait a minute. No. Count him. Right? That's the only thing sealing us. This. That's the only thing sealing us, y'all. These 9. You got Jacob blood running through your body, but you think you're a Muslim. But you did the 9: love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. You're in line with that. You're in line with 1 Corinthians chapter 13. You're in line with that. You're in line with Galatians chapter 5. You're in line with that. Okay? Christ is stronger than Christ. Christ don't care that you was rolling with all of that. No, you did these 9 and you got Jacob blood. You ask me how I know. And y'all know how religious I was. I wouldn't have never been talking like this. I wouldn't have never been talking like this. This is not me, fam. This is him coming for you. Okay? And I'm talking to the naysayers right now. I'm not talking to y'all that, we are, we there. I'm not talking to y'all. I'm talking about the ones that say nay, Oh, we're stretching across all of that. We're stretching. No, Christ got children and all of that stuff, y'all. But the way that they've been doing it, man, they'll never hear y'all. They're too offended already. Y'all doing this. You got a point, they have a point, and nobody is seeing nobody's point, and you guys would be stuck like that forever. No, somebody had to come in, right? With the understanding from there, right? And it's like, no, dead all of that. It's about this. It's not about the stuff either of y'all are bickering about, right? Con? Ecclesiasticus 3. That's where we're going next. Ecclesiasticus chapter 3. We're going to start at verse 17. Come on. Last letter, I see you. Right? Nezarban Yehuda. Barazal is up in here. Shabbat Shalom, my family. War and peace. Right? Sister Adakah. Ak Trib. Shalom, y'all. God willing. Right? Pamela Holt is up in here with us. Right? Our brother Gabar. Shabbat Shalom. Blessed family. Right? Shout y'all out real quick. Sister Michaela. Shalom, my sister. Good to see you. Good to see y'all. Happy Sabbath, y'all. Right? Oh, man, we in here. Right? Jimmy O'More. Nice to see you. Right? Never met you. Derek Hayashar, who we just spoke. Just got off the line. My brother. Right? God willing, Father willing, Ahaya willing. Good to see you. Right? Mama 333, baby. I see you. All praise it to the Most High. What mama are you talking about? Our mama? Right? All praise it to the Most High. Man, good to see y'all. Ricardo Gonzalez is in the building. The Dorsets is in here. Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Keep Dorset, right? My wife is in here and she's right there. Right? Lasagna White is in here, like always. Right? Devontae Payton. Oh, man, we growing, y'all. We growing. We growing every day, y'all. It's crazy. Every day. Right? Welcome back to the brothers that we got back. Right? It was a few who sat a few rounds out. Glad to have y'all brothers back. It's a few new that come over from other places. Shout out to y'all. Right? And it's a few new that I never known. Not a day in my life in the truth. Right? And we welcome y'all. We all family. We all family. Shout out to the Gentiles. Shout out to ye. We love you. And it's real love. And it's genuine. And there's no dissimulation. Right? We getting Israel together right now, baby. You next. Told you already. Right? Yep. So Ecclesiasticus chapter 3, starting at verse 17. My son, go on with thy business in what, y'all? In meekness. So shalt thou be beloved of him that is approved. What did that just tell you? Without the meekness, you're not going to be approved. What does it mean to be approved? That means you're in the cluster among the people who are going to be approved. You're among the elect if you're among the approved. If you're beloved among the approved, that means you love them and they love you, right? The approved loves everybody, but everybody don't love the approved. But when that's a mutual and we're among each other and we're family and we roll together, now you're among the approved, right? And what did that just tell us was the password of that? Meekness, y'all. My son, go on with thy business, the things that make you busy in the earth, go on in meekness. And if you should be in that meekness, then what? So shalt thou be beloved, right? Back and forth, one to another, right? Mutual feelings. We feel that about you. You feel that about us. That's to be beloved, right? Of him that is what? Approved. You're with the elect. Read the Bible, okay? The go-getter? No, no. The meek. When you look at the meek, you don't want to be the meek, okay? This world, they don't want to be the meek. He has to chill. He can't jump out here and get down where he mad at and flip everything over to his liking. No, that's the go-getter and the aggressive man and oh, he's having it his way. That's who everybody wants to be. Nobody wants to be this guy who's talking about want nothing. People are like, nah, I want stuff. What you talking about? Right? I need all kind of stuff. I need this, that, right? Greens, beans, hogs, mogs, chicken, you know what I'm saying? You name it. You know, you know that song that, the lady that was cooking, you know? Oh, they want it all. Give it all. The meek is more like, I'm gonna be all right without that. I like what I like. I like the few things I like, and none of that you talking about is it. Okay. you know, and even if they like it, or even if they don't like it, if you're offering, yeah, give me that. Man. Right? That's not the meek. The meek is like, it's a whole persona. It's right. They're not greedy. They don't take what they don't need. Right? They don't want what they don't need. We're different, y'all. Right? 18. The greater thou art, the more humble thyself. Right? We could be like everybody else. We could be big and bad. I never felt good with that, y'all. I knew I was on the wrong side, but I thought I was in the Most High. And you know how the Most High will get you to take something. If you think you're doing it right and you think you're doing it in the name of the Most High, you'll participate. And that's what I was doing. But deep down in my soul, there was something wrong. We was too big. We were too powerful. And it was like, that was never my attitude or my persona, you know. And when I broke a loose, I felt so free and I could just be myself and be who I was and, man, crawl through the earth. I'm crawling through this earth, and whoever want to kick me in the head, well, I'm down there. Go ahead, boot me, right? Because I know who your father is, and I know who mine is, right? And I know that you kicking me ain't the end, okay? I'd rather be the victim any day. Oh man, you know. And I remember that. You remember how that felt? I remember getting kicked to anger, right? I could take a lot, but I remember getting kicked so much by somebody who I knew I could probably break their neck, right? And they kicked me so much. So, okay, let's get busy then. That's the last time you're going to kick me, right? My bullies, I beat all my bullies up one day, y'all. At the end of that, oh man, at the end of that now, okay, let's get down then. You know, rip them to pieces, right? Now, guess who feels bad? That's the meek, y'all. Now I feel bad. You know, the greater thou art, humble thyself, and thou shalt find favor before the Lord, right? Man, you went from being the one down and kicked and man to okay, let's all right, right. Oh, what have I done? You know, oh, there was no match for you when you built up with that fury and that strength and that fury of the Most High, right? From Jeremiah 51. They are full of the fury of the Lord. Oh, no, that hammer strength, get in that fist, and you Donkey Kong them, boom, right? Come down right here, top of the head, bing. Call that the Donkey Kong, bing, right? Hammer them like a nail, right? Oh man. Now you like, man, what was you doing? Like, why was you doing? Why you kick me like that? Why you didn't stop kicking me like that? Bruh, you knew you wasn't ready for this, man. Why you do that? Why you do yourself like now you gotta feel sorry for him. Now guess who's coaching who? That's the meek, fam. But guess what? Not anymore. They ain't gonna get nah. Now we know that Christ gotta come and bring the Donkey Kong, right? Christ gotta come and do that. We'll never do it. They'll kick us forever, right? 19. Many are in high place. Go get her. High place. Savage, right? That's another thing they call them, right? Savages, right? Steppers and all of these kind of, oh, they call them all kind of stuff. Oh, they go out in that world and they make that world bow down to them and they get off with everything that they want, everything that they need, everything they desire. They know how to choke it out of this world, right? The meek don't know how to do that, y'all. The meek, that ain't the meek's office, right? Yes, yes, yes. Many are in high place though. And what else are they? Renowned. Renown means you got a reputation for being in high place, right? But mysteries are revealed. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Are you there in your book? Do you see what that says? Yikes. Yeah, he got all of that. But the mysteries are revealed unto the meek. Okay, he always gonna come from the very bottom, the least you expect. He gonna be the least, he gonna be the last person you would expect to jump out with all of this powerful uh material, right? And substance. You didn't expect him. Okay. Many are in high place and renown, but mysteries are revealed unto the meek. Okay. 20. For the power of the Lord is great. High place and renown. Yeah. That's the most high power too. But guess what? Them mysteries, they're going to come from the bottom. For the power of the Lord is great, and he is honored of the lowly. So it's the lowly that honors him, y'all. The high place and the renown, oh, they full of themselves. They're battling whether they want to just go on their own or believe in the Most High. They're in constant battle, you know, and they roll over on the Most High constantly. Okay, they lose that battle. Most High lose that battle where they win it. They win it for themselves, and then the Most High start losing. And then it ain't about the Most High's business no more. It never fails these guys, man. Oh, man, but guess what? The meek remembers having nothing, and he was okay with that. So that's the one who is okay uh, when the Most High give it to them, and they're not going to roll over on the Most High because of it, right? And that's where he wants us at, so that he could really start blessing us, right? Because we the ones that he know ain't gonna ruin ourselves. Huh? Yes, yes, yes. You know? Mm-hmm. He's honored of the lowly, y'all. The lowly is the one that know how to honor him. Okay? 21. Seek not out the things that are too hard for thee. Oh, it's gonna start talking to us. He's talking to the meek. Because we gonna, man, they gonna hit us with this stuff, and we gonna feel like, man, I know I was lowly and I didn't need nothing and I was Mr. Want Nothing, but look at this thing that they didn't just hit me with, and now I'm looking like this and they looking like that, right? And the whole world is on that side, right? Oh man, okay, maybe I should incorporate some of that. Maybe I should start chasing and seeking how to get some of that. And this is telling you, no, don't do that. Seek not out the things that are too hard for thee, right? Neither search for the things that are above your meek strength, right? No, stay low. Let them shine, because they're going to they're going to come crashing down, right? With all of that they're enticing you with and making you feel like you need. No, you stay low, you stay meek. Don't go messing with that. That's what verse 21 is telling us, right? Seek not out the things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength, right? Verse 22, but what is commanded thee, stay there, right? Stay with the commands, with the divine nine, right? With the fruit of the spirit, with the things that at the end of them are you're in the fruit of the spirit, not the weed of the spirit, not the seed of the spirit, okay? Not the dirt of the spirit, okay? Not the work of the spirit. No, this is the fruit, baby. It's just time to just party and love and just, nah, it's not work. No, it's not the shovel in the dirt. It ain't none of that. This is the fruit. We just plucking and eating. That's all we doing, plucking and eating, separating seeds. Yeah, let me get my seeds up out of there. We're going to plant these, right? Vineyard talk, right? Yes, yes, yes. Oh, man. Oh, man. Was you ready? I wasn't. I wasn't even ready for that. Y'all, hold on. Say la. Let me say la. Let me blow that out. Verse 22. Verse 22, but what is commanded thee, that's what you worry about, right? Think thereupon with reverence. Think upon the nine with reverence and respect them, right? For it is not needful for thee to see with thine eyes, right? The things that are in secret. You don't know what's going to happen to them guys that's flossing on you, right? Yeah, you don't know about that. Or you wouldn't have never desired it or got ready on the edge of your seat to jump off and go get some of that so that you can compete with these guys. No, stay meek, stay out of it. Stay weak as you are. Stay looking however they're looking at you and counting you as, right? Let them keep counting you like that. Yes, yeah. Oh, come on now. Yes, yes, yes. Verse 23, be not curious in unnecessary matters. Put away childish things. Keep them childish things away. Don't go back and start picking up the childish things once you have understood the divine nine, right? Once the divine nine has ravished your mind, right? And took the lead of your behind and got you feeling fine, right? And all that and all that. No, stay where you at, right? Be not curious in unnecessary matters. That's all that junk we put away, y'all. For more things are shewed unto thee than men understand. That ain't talked about nobody else in the earth at no other time. That's directly at us right here, right now. That was written for us, fam. Because who else had this? Who else knew this? Y'all saw how we came into that? My son, go not on, right? Go on with your business and meekness. Wow. Mm. Verse 24, for many are deceived of their own vain opinion. That's not us. And that's not the 9. This is not a vain opinion. It's the only thing that's not a vain opinion, y'all. I can take you to 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and show you where everything that they respect is vain. And what we're on, which they are not on, they show it in the aggression of the way they treat us, right? And the way they live. You know how Paul pointed them out. He showed us them and what they care about. This is not exaggeration, fam. And this ain't me just talking. I don't want to be saying this. This book, okay? This book is saying this. I don't want to be talking about this, to tell you the truth. But I know that I got to bring this forward. I know if it's in this book like this and this is where we are to read, I know the heavens want this out here, drawing a clear depiction. Clear depiction, right? For many are deceived by their own vain opinions. So that's an opinion, y'all. The 9 is not an opinion, and it's not a doctrine. It's blatant. The fruit of the Spirit is what? In Galatians 5, okay? 1 Corinthians chapter 13, this is everything except for what? One word, charity. The fruit of the Spirit and charity. Everything else, hey, you're gambling. You're not even gambling because it just told you it's worthless. So it wouldn't call this no vain opinion, right? For many are deceived by their own vain opinion. They deceived, y'all. Who wants to keep fighting? Who will want to keep fighting? Let that go. Oh, no, you did something so bad, brother. We got to keep this going. No, we don't. Nobody worried about y'all, right? Nobody worried about y'all, right? We ain't worried about nobody, right? And an evil suspicion has overthrown. Whoa. No, you did this thing, right? We gotta be enemies. Oh, you're a rebel, right? And an evil suspicion have overthrown their judgment, their decision making. So that's why we don't agree with the moves that they make, right? Ecclesiasticus 10. Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, we're going to start at verse 12. For the Sabbath right? How y'all doing? Y'all sleep? We sleep out there? Man, we got quite a few people. We got quite a few people in here for it to be so late. We are awake. Ain't that something? All praise to the Most High. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, we're at verse 12. Okay, Ecclesiasticus chapter 10, verse 12. The beginning of the pride, right? The beginning of pride is, what's the beginning of pride? When one departed from God. So when you see pride, they departed from God already. Pride, do you and God like that. And his heart is turned away from his maker. 13, for pride is the beginning of sin. Okay? You cannot do what you need to do in sin. You can't do that without pride. Okay? Never mind, the Most High has to come into your mind. You have yourself here, you have the Most High there, and you're going to pick yourself. Whenever you sin, fam, you can't sin without that. You're going to line up. You're going to line up yourself with the Most High and choose yourself. And then you go sin. And then you go do something you know you ain't got no business doing. You can't sin without that. Okay? So all you got to do is keep choosing the Most High. Right? 3 a.m., you far east, right? Yes, yes, yes. Con, all praise. Woo! We in here, in here. Akrala. Shabbat Shalom. Ak. Right? Yam I am. And Mountain Official. I hope I said that right. Right? Is that a Marriott? Is the California Hebrews in here? Oh, yes, they are. Shabbat Shalom. Ak. Right? Oh, man, we are so in here. And it's late. All praise to the Most High. Happy Sabbath, everybody. Right? For pride is the beginning of sin, y'all. We need pride to sin. You don't sin without pride. You don't roll over on the 9 without pride. You have to think of yourself to roll over on this. What is this? Everybody else in the Most High. Love, joy, peace, long suffering. Don't fly off the handle just because something ain't working your way, just because something's getting on your nerve. Oh, all bets are off. You start flashing, right? Or they call it crashing out these days, right? No, keep that long suffering. And what else? Gentleness, right? Goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. It's for you know, that's for everybody else. They're benefiting because you have these things. That's not for you, right? It's for you at the end of your life if you want to go someplace good, yeah. But all throughout the earth, man, that's for the other people. That's for the Most High and the other people. You feel away, right? In the beginning of you doing this, you ain't gonna like having to adhere to the 9. You don't feel good. You want to flash, right? You want to lose it, right? Yes, yes, yes. Uh, yeah, that's pride, fam. And you need it to sin. It's like gas to a vehicle. It's prideful. It don't always look prideful, but it's pride, y'all. You need it to sin. And he that have it shall bond nation, okay? He who has what? Sin and pride, right? He that have it shall pour out abomination, not the spirit. The Most High said he shall pour out his spirit right now. You pouring out abomination, okay? And therefore, the Lord thy power, higher, right? Brought upon them strange calamities. So their calamities are going to be strange. The way they come, it ain't going to be how you thought it was going to come. It's going to come in strange ways, right? And overthrow them utterly. They're going to be done. You know? So it's going to be something like, when you have a debate, they're going to have a debate with a white Christian pastor, and right, everything gonna come crashing down over a Christian pastor of the Caucasian persuasion, right? Like, whoa, like what is going on here? Right? It's gonna be a strange calamity that you're not gonna expect, right? I'm not gonna talk about, the physical things that may happen. I don't ever want that to look like I wish that on anybody. No, I don't. Right? But a lot's gonna happen, y'all. Starch is gonna happen. Okay, right? A lot of things are gonna happen. Strange calamities, right? 14. The Lord has cast down the thrones of the proud princes, and that's who they are, y'all. They're the prince. They're the princes, y'all. That's the go-getter. Oh, he got the nice linen on, right? And the jewels and the nice, he got jewels in his headwear, and you know what I mean? Oh, he rented out a nice extravagant spot for 3,000 to 5,000 people to go have a night, right? Oh man, top hotel or something somewhere, convention center, oh, and where he gonna go? He gonna walk up them stairs. You gonna see him go up some stairs and go up above you and sit down, right? Oh man, when we get that one, I wanna, we're gonna go into that, right? We're gonna go into it. Yes. And then, oh man, come on. Right? The Lord has cast down the thrones of proud princes. Why you got a throne? Why do you have a throne? It's not time to have a throne yet. Right? The meek ain't got that. The meek is not interested in having that. Right? But guess what? The Lord shall cast down the thrones of the proud and set up the meek in their stead. What is in their stead? That's instead of them, right? Who? The meek. 15. The Lord has plucked up the roots of proud nations. So he has done whole nations like this. This applies to whole nations. Okay? It's not just one man all the time, one king. Nah. Nations. And planted the lowly in their place. Meek shall inherit the earth. 16. The Lord overthrew countries of the heathen, right? And destroyed them to the foundations of the earth, crashed them to the ground, right? 17. He took some of them away and destroyed them and has made their memorial to cease from the earth. Now, you're not going to remember them, right? And that ain't happened yet because we still remember. They still got statues and stuff. No, them statues coming down, right? He said he gonna scatter their body. Well, should I even say that? Right? Would this broadcast start twitching if I say that? Right? Said he gonna scatter their bodies all around their altars. Right? That's all that stuff. Statues, steps, stages, platforms, all of that stuff, right? Their podiums, man, all of this type of activity, right? Yes, yes, yes. He took some of them away and destroyed them and has made their memorial, even the way we remember them. He even made that to cease from the earth. That hasn't happened yet. It's coming, right? 18. Pride was not made for men. Mm, mm, mm. Pride was not made for men. You think I got that? Honestly, you think I got that? If you can't see clear who got that and who don't, I quit. I give up. Right? Nor furious anger. That's how you're going to know. You're going to see that. Furious anger, right? Pride was not made for men, nor furious anger for who? For them that are born of a woman, y'all. We ain't supposed to be feeling them emotions, right? We're not big enough, bad enough, the most high enough to be feeling them emotions. We didn't create anything, right? That's who pride is for. Pride is not for men. Pride is for, right? You can have pride toward what you created, right? And deal with it. I could cook a few dishes and dump one in the trash because I don't like it. Because I'm above it. I'm better than it. No, I ain't eating that. Trash, right? Pick one that I do like. Okay, I'm going to eat you, right? You can have pride toward what you create. It ain't bother nobody else that you get rid of that thing, right? Or that you go up against that thing. That's what you can have pride against, right? Nor furious anger for them that are born of a woman. Right? Are you a woman? Right? Were they born of you? Right? It's two-stage, right? First, you got to be a woman. Two, they got to be born of you. Right? Your mother can be furiously angry at you. Okay? Your mother can. Man, you get out here, you messing her name up, you messing her, you making a fool of her, right? You embarrassing her. Boy, right. Boy, get away from over there. Right? You did what? Oh man. Mama can feel that. Right? She is in the vein of the Holy Spirit. And she's a woman. She can't control a man. Oh man, you can fire mom up, man. But she love you like no other. She'll never hurt you. Her fierce anger is going to lead to nothing, right? Her looking out for you, trying to hide you, trying to help you, right? 19. They that fear the Lord are a sure seed. They're a sure seed, y'all. How you know you fear him? You're not going to roll over on that because you're scared of him. And what is this? Protection of him and your fellow brother. You ain't going to do nothing to your brother because you're scared of him. Do I need to go through them? Love, joy, right? No, I don't need to go through that. We know the 9, right? And if you don't know them, Galatians 5, chapter 22 through 23, ain't it? Yes, 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 right? Oh, man, there it is there. But that's the sure seed. The sure seed. What sure seed? The elect, fam. The one that need to get sealed in their forehead so they could be one of the 144. That's who that's talking about, right? They that fear the Lord are a sure seed. And they that love him, an honorable plant. What plant? The plant from Second Esdras, chapter 9, verse 22, right? That cluster with great labor, he made it perfect, right? Like his little separate cluster of grape. He said he will raise it up as a plant, right? Precept. We're in the precept right now, right? An honorable plant, yikes. They that regard not the law are a dishonorable seed. What's the law? You don't honor that? There you are. You're a dishonorable seed. They that transgress. This is all it's talking about, y'all. Every time this all is talking about. You rolled over on this, okay? They that transgress the commandments, right, are a deceivable seed. You are a deceiver. You're tricking who you're able to trick, which was everybody, right? But guess what? Now, since we've been talking this, we're of the portion that you cannot fool. Oh, we see so clearly where to draw the line between the world and the elect. The elect are going to know who they are. But we've been taught to not know who we are, to not know who the elect is, to just wonder and just, okay, I guess I'll find out when I die. No. Mm-mm. No, we know. We would know who we are, fam. Ain't nothing up in no air. It ain't up in the air, right? Nah, we know. Mama is to know. Wisdom, the mind, right? You know. You ain't gonna be the elect and not know it. We know who we are. And guess what? We got the blueprint now. We got the set in stone facts that make us who we are. We got the divine nine. And once we get on top of that, we know that we are of these chosen. We know that we're sealed. It's another ball game, right? Tell me we ain't at the end. Oh, we at the end of this, y'all. We don't got long. We don't got long, y'all. Right? You're gonna see this love manifest in this earth, and all of these people who gonna get picked up, who never got picked up before, who the world never thought about. That's whose mama coming. That's who mama's coming to pick up, right? And bless for being down that low all that time, for staying down there, right? Talk about staying down, huh? Yeah, that gives staying down a whole nother new meaning, ain't it? Yeah, you was down, you stayed down. The world laughed at you, counted you as nothing. Guess whose mama coming to pick up? Guess who mama's coming to scoop up, right? And then shut the earth down, right? For you. Guess. Oh, yikes. Among brethren, he that is chief is honorable. So are they that fear the Lord in his eyes, right? So whoever is chief in the world, that's how the Most High, right, sees the one that is scared of him. How do we know, one more time, how do we know we're scared of the Most High? We respect these 9 fruits. You can't say you fear the Most High and you're rolling over on that. You are a liar, okay? Verse 21, the fear of the Most High goeth before the obtaining of authority, right? The fear of the Most High goeth before the obtaining of authority. Right? So you fear the Most High first, and then you get your authority later. To obtain is to get, is to lay hold on. You don't get that until, right? You fear the Most High first, right? But roughness and pride is the loosing thereof, right? So you're going to lose it through roughness and pride. This is talking to somebody, y'all. Mm, 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 mm. So you fear the Most High, you obtain authority, but through roughness and pride, you lose it. Mm, mm, mm. And that's verse 21, y'all. Verse 22, whether he be rich, noble, or poor, their glory is the fear of the Most High, their fear of the Lord, right? 23, it is not meat. It is not good for them, right, to despise the poor man. That's what they did, and they messed up, right? It is not meat. It is not good to meat. To meat is to be good for you, right? Good to meet you, right? It is not meat to despise the poor man that has what? Understanding the divine nine, the mind of mama, right? What y'all think? This talking about some old, talking about some long time ago, huh? Talking about right, talking about us, okay? That's verse 23, y'all. It is not meet to despise the poor man that have understanding, neither is it convenient, right, to magnify a sinful man. Oh, he's so high, right? And the whole world is, oh, that's who they put up there, right? That's who got it going on. That's who they magnifying, ain't it? Am I tripping, or this book saying that, huh? Verse 24, great men, tell me about great men. And judges, right? And potentates, right? Shall be honored. Yet there is none of them greater than he that feareth the Most High, right? You got all of this stuff. How's your fear? As you have that stuff, right? As you have this life, as you have this wonderful life that the whole world wants, that the meek don't really care too much for, right? Looks like a headache to him. Looks like, man, it's going to be hard to keep the commandments and do that at the same time, right? Doesn't even look appealing to the meek man, right? Just give me some food, my wife, my children, my friends, right? A hill to sit on, right? And have a cool drink. That's all I need, you know? And that's not me speaking. I'm speaking for the meek man. That's all he wants. He wants to eat. He wants a nice hill with a breeze blowing on it. He wants his arm around it, you know? He don't really too much choir to be anybody's God, right? And you follow what I say just because I said it and I'm rich and I'm big and bad and this and that. Oh, I can afford everything, you know. We don't need all that. That looks like trouble. That looks like, oh, I'm going to hell for, I'm going to hell for sure. Right? You know? Oh man, we're gonna get that stuff. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna give that stuff away, right? Here, you jump up and down, right? Guess what? Rent paid for 3 months, right? New vehicle, you like that? You know, can you fit all the kids in there? Check it out. Here goes some car seats for the back, right? Okay, all praises. You happy, huh? You jumping up and down? Okay, great. Okay, you check this out. Come here, right? Oh, we gonna feed the folks, right? Oh man, that's more fun than having a fat bank account and right and everything I could want and just okay, yeah. Well, I need more. Let's go back to the bank account. No, all of you are gonna get all y'all gonna spend that and eat that and live in that, right? Oh, we're gonna spread it out. That's what the rich are supposed to do, fam. And that's why they fail. Because the most high made you a gatekeeper and you kept it, you know? Yes, yes, yes. You ran off on the plug, baby. Right? 26. Oh, hold on. Let's get 25. Unto the servant that is wise shall they that are free do service, and he that has knowledge will do grudge, right? Will not grudge when he is reformed, right? Unto the servant that is wise, unto the servant that knows better, who has the divine nine in his mind, right? Shall they that are free do service, right? And he that has knowledge, right, will not grudge when he is reformed. So that's a lot like, that's crazy how I read a piece and I break it down. And then when I start reading again, it's saying what I just said. That's telling you that the servant that is wise, that has mama, right? That stuff don't do him no service, right? If he has knowledge, right? But he will not grudge. He won't take it hard when he is reformed, right? So he's not going to stay that way. He's not getting that stuff to stay like that, right? He gets it and he does charity with that thing, right? So he ain't taking it no kind of way when it's time to not have it anymore, right? When it's time to not have it anymore, he's not grudged. When it's time to be reformed, when it's time to turn into something else, he's not stuck on that, right? He can have it or not have it. You know, the way Paul was talking about in Philippians chapter 4, right? Where we get the I can do all things in Christ, right? Who strengthened me, right? He was talking about being rich or poor, being whatever he had to be in the moment, right? Having need or being fed or whatever the case, right? That's what he was talking about he could do, you know? He wasn't saying he could fly into the sky. He wasn't talking about that kind of do all things in Christ, right? Nah, he was just talking about being uncomfortable and having need and, or not, or having it and being able to spread it and share it and all of this type activity, right? Verse 26, be not over wise in doing thy business, right? So the things you want to do, your business, your busyness, be not over wise in that. What is over wise is going to tell you. What he say next? And boast not in thyself, right? You do so good that you start boasting, right? Oh, I did this. I've been here. I've been there. I set up this. Right? It's a boaster. You know? Don't do that. Right? Be not overwise in doing thy business, and boast not thyself in the time, right, of thy distress. So when you do good in business and then distress comes, you crawl right into your pride and start boasting, right? 27, better is he that laboreth and aboundeth in all things, right? You work, you keep your head down. It's not a big check, it's something, you know, mediocre, and you can find comfort in that, and you can come up and abound in all things. You're not gonna lack anything. When a car break down, you're gonna have that, right? When it's time to go grocery shopping, you're gonna have that. When the kids need shoes, you're gonna abound in all things. You ain't gonna lack nothing. You're gonna have what you need to go forward, you're gonna keep, right? You're gonna have a little on the side to do your charity with, because that's an addiction too. You get addicted to you get addicted to charity, right? Oh man, I'm gonna break this off, right? I paid my tithe. I did my other half that I gave up for charity, but guess what? I'm gonna go harder this month. I'm done with everything, but what you say you need, right? And you're gonna keep on giving, right? It's like an addiction, but you're gonna abound in all of that, y'all. You're gonna have more than what you need, more than what is necessity, right? Than he that boasteth himself, right? Better is he that laboreth and abound in all things than he that boasteth himself. And do what? And wanted bread. Oh man, you're gonna end up crashing, is what that's telling you. You're gonna want bread one day, right? Yeah, you was up high and you was boasting, right? Oh man, what part of charity is that? You know, charity is of the meek, y'all. It's not of the boaster, unless he's doing it just to boast. Oh yeah, I did that over there. Yeah, yeah. I went on, then I came around the corner, right? And then I shot this and that, boom, bam, bam, bam. And they was hurting, telling all your business. Yeah, they was hurting like this, and they was hurting like that. They was all messed up over there. But see, when I came through, you know what I'm saying? And then I dropped this, whoop, whoop, whop, bam. And then, we hear people talk like that all the time. And I'm like, man, yeah, you pumping yourself up real nice. But man, uh, I bet the person you talking about wouldn't want you talking about that like that right now, right? Yikes! But guess what? If you if you focus there, you would know. Oh, maybe I shouldn't put their business out there. Number one. Number two, maybe I shouldn't pump myself up, make myself look, a certain way because I did that, right? Ah, no, 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 no. Right? We're gonna know better than that, fam. We're gonna know better than that. Verse 28, my son, glorify thy soul in what? In meekness, right? Opposite of the go-getter. That's the go-getter. That's go-getter type stuff, right? Do you a favor and then tell your business because they boasting about the favor that they did you. That's of the go-getter, okay? Not of the meek. My son, glorify thy soul in meekness and give it honor, right? According to the dignity. Dignity, y'all. Dignity is on our mind. Dignity ain't on your mind when you boasting and when you're telling people business behind the favor that you done them, right? The goal getter is a boaster, fam. That's why they going and getting, because that's what's important to them. Having it, having that shine, right? Oh, I'm not sitting here. Sitting here for what? No, I'm gonna go get it because I'm a go getter, right? And it's not my time or none of that. It ain't my time, but I'm gonna make it my time. I'm a go getter. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna go get it. That's why they're a go-getter, because they forcing themselves through all kinds of stuff, right? And that's what they're boasting on, all that they had to go through to get it. It wouldn't be no big deal if it was easy, right? That's nothing to boast about. If they could just reach out and just, okay. Nah, that's not the goal getter. The goal getter, he's getting it through toil. It's not easy to do what he does. And that's why he's such a big deal, because he's able to tackle those things, right? So you still want to be a go-getter, or you want to be meek, or you want to be of the meek. Y'all see this? Right? And give it honor according to the dignity. That's what we going and getting, dignity, okay? That's what's important to us. Dignity ain't important. Integrity, things like that. That's spiritual stuff, y'all. Dignity, integrity. 29, who will justify him that sinneth against his own soul? So when he crashed, who gonna feel sorry for him? When he the one took it upon himself to go wild and go do all of the stuff he went and did, and then when it swallows him up, right? Who will justify him? Who will say, oh, he had to do it because, the person who does that, check him out, right? And who will honor him that dishonoreth his own life? He threw his life away. You honor him, huh? Guess who that's going to be? The world, not us, right? And guess who we're not going to be? Guess who we've been? The person that hurt their feelings about that guy. We're going to start holding that back, right? Let the ignorant be ignorant. Let them rejoice. Let them rejoice in abomination and whatever, We're going to stop stepping in there and hurting their feelings and snapping them out of reality. We know they don't like that. They don't appreciate it. They have chosen already. They're in the book, right? They call themselves worshipers. They say they're law keepers. They say they're Sabbath keepers and all of that. What can we say? No, we're going to talk this talk among each other. We're going to stay out of their business. We ain't over there talking to them and interrupting them, right? Nah, go ahead, glorify your idols and all that, But we're over here talking this talk. If you ever want to click into here and get a dose of this and become meek, right? 30, the poor man, yikes, the poor man is honored for his skill. He's honored by what he knows how to do. And the rich man is honored by what he has, right? He's honored by his riches. 31, he that is honored in poverty, oh man, how much more in riches? Woo. Be something first before you get the bread, right? That's who the meek is. He had it before he was coming into money. And just because he comes into money, it don't say nothing there about him not being fervent in charity, right? Because the meek do get it. And when they get it, things change for who? His people, the poor. If you was poor and you got it and things didn't change for the poor, yikes. Yikes. He that is honored in poverty, how much more in riches? And he that is dishonored in riches, Oh, you was rich and you had it, right? You had it all. But how much more in poverty? Oh, when he lose it. Yikes. Yikes, fam. That just told you who each man was. That just told you it ain't about who got the bread. It's about who has the dignity, okay? Right? Because we have a man being honored in his poverty. What the rich is going to do to him? He going to go flying. He going to pierce the clouds, right? He was already up with nothing. And then the father brought him into the riches. Yikes. Yikes. But guess what? He that is dishonorable. Oh man, he had it, and we were still looking at him like, bruh. Yes, yes, yes. You see that? How much more in poverty? How much more dishonorable is he gonna be? Man, he gonna crash bad, right? He gonna be losing it. He gonna be doing this and the stuff he gonna be doing to pacify himself. You gonna be like, yikes. And that's what happened, right? And that's it for the night, fam. Right. 3.5 hours in. Now let's go to the golden chapter, right? That teaches us to line up with all of this. If you do what I'm about to read you right now, it don't matter where we go read at, you're gonna line up with it, right? It's not gonna be talking about you. If you do First Corinthians chapter 13, fam. Though I speak with the tongue of men and of angels and have not charity, I am become a sounding brass and a tinkling cymbal. Right? That's what they lacked over there. In all of those books of Ecclesiasticus we just read, right? And all of that second address we just read over there. You gonna line right up with this. You gonna line right up with it, ain't it? Verse 2, and though I had the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I had all faith so that I could remove mountains. Oh, you was a go-getter, right? And have not charity. If you have not charity, though, guess what? I am nothing. And ain't that what it just said? Oh, it just made that clear. There it is, y'all. There's that verse. You see that? And you have not charity. I am nothing. He that is dishonorable in riches, how much more in poverty? That poverty, he just lost it all right there in the I am nothing. That I am nothing is the same as how much more in poverty. When you lose that, you're nothing. Charity is what changes that for you, right? Verse 3, and though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, how did he do it? It just told us back here, right? What was that? Ecclesiasticus 10? What verse was that? Where he doing you favors and telling your business, right? Verse 25, 10 and 25, right? Ecclesiasticus 10 and 25. Unto the wise, unto the servant that is wise, right? Shall they that are free of the service, right? And he that has knowledge will not grudge when he is reformed. No, that ain't it. Salakia. Which one was that? Better is he that laboreth and aboundeth in all things than he that boasteth himself and wanteth bread. Right? Or was it 26? No, it was 26. Be not overwise in doing thy business. Yeah, it was this one. Overwise in doing your business and boast, right? Boast not thyself in the time of thy distress. Right? And all of that. Boasting, right? Boasting in your work, boasting in the things you do, right? Conceited in your business. That's what they do. They do favors and it backfire on you, right? The help that they gave you is short-lived for some reason, right? That's how you bestowing all your good to feed the poor and then go do what? Yeah, I did this for the poor. I did this. Yeah, such and such. I did that. That's how you ruin your works because you got to go boast. And that talks a lot about this in this chapter, right? Yes, yes, yes. That's the envieth not. That's the vaunteth not itself. That's the not puffed up. That's behaving yourself unseemly. All of that, right? That's seeking your own praise, right? That's being easily provoked. It's easy for somebody to get that out of you. All they got to do is say, oh, well, you ain't never did nothing for nobody. Yes, I did. Such and such over there was going through that, and I did that. Right? It's easy to get that out of you. You're easily provoked, right? You're thinking evil. You see that? Oh, man, we just jumped 3 verses. We just jumped 3 verses in the chapter, fam. Now let's go back and read that. And though I bestow all my goods, feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, right, and have not charity, it profiteth. That's how it profit them nothing, y'all. Y'all see this? 4, charity suffereth long and is kind. It's kind to you, right? If you had that kindness, you wouldn't be telling a business, right? That part you could take out for you, right? For us who are doing it wrong. Charity suffers long and is not kind while it's suffering. How dare you make me suffer, right? I'm going to go gossip about you, right? Charity envieth not, right? It's not jealous of nobody. And envy is a burning jealousy. It's not a regular jealousy. Envy is, they can't think. They wake up every morning and think about you, right? That's envy. I will destroy this person if it's the last thing I do, right? Nothing to make you happier. That's envy, okay? Charity vaunteth not itself. And that's why you feel like that, because you're so full of yourself. It just lays it out for us. It just guides us on through it, right? Because you vaunteth yourself, right? You vaunt yourself, okay? It's puffed up. That's why, because you puffed up, full of pride, right? 5, does not behave itself unseemly. And it's going to show in behavior when you have those feelings, when you're puffed up, right? When you're vaunting yourself, when you're envious, when you're not kind, right? When you don't know how to suffer long, right? You're going to behave unseemly. You're going to jump the gun quick, right? If you could have suffered long, you could have saved yourself that embarrassment and everybody else having to see you act a total fool. You would have been able to hold that back, right? You could have done something like, let's say you would have waited to talk to somebody or something and get the full scoop before you jump out there, right? Like a fool and talk crazy and act wild and take your big hammer of a fist and Donkey Kong, bah, right? Go getter activity, y'all. Yes, yes, yes. Verse 6, rejoice if not in iniquity, but rejoice if in the truth, y'all. Right? 7, beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. 8, charity never fails, but whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Right? All of them ways you know how to jump in front of a camera and break down the scriptures, and you leaned on that, you built up everything you got off of that. Guess what? That's out the window. You can't do it the same no more the way you used to, right? You kind of lost that, right? It don't have the same effect as it used to. They shall fail. That's the prophecies failing, y'all. Whether there be tongues, how well you can oratate, they shall cease. Can't lean on that no more. Whether there be knowledge, everything you know, everything you knew, everything your team came together and knew how to put together, that ain't going to be able to help you. It does what? It vanishes away. That vanishes away. That's the rich man losing everything, right? Mm-mm-mm. The poor man, he can come up and he still has all this integrity that he learned being poor, right? But the rich man struck gold, went up. Guess what? Must come down. What goes up must come down, right? I understand that. If I woke up rich tomorrow, I wouldn't think that I'm never going to be poor again. I would look forward to it. And guess what I would do? I would make myself poor again. I would do charity till I was broke, okay? Get my farm together, get my things together, build my stuff that I'm building, buy my supplies, do all of that. But man, what the nation need, Con? Who on the bus? Let's get you off the bus, right? Who missing meals? Let's get you food, right? Let's do all of these type of things. Who kids need backpacks, right? Who need new shoes? Who need all of these things, right? Who's short on groceries this month, right? And even then, all of us coming here, coming to this work with me, let's get the nation what we need, right? And then watch how we spin around from that and it be right back. Time to do it again. Who else needs something, right? And we're going to see that. We're going to see that in the last day, and it's prophesied. We're going to go into it, right? Got those scriptures too. We're going to go into that, right? Just keep coming before the screen with me. We're going to talk about everything. We're going to talk about everything we need to talk about, y'all. It's so much to talk about, y'all. It's so much we need to pull out this book. It's crazy, right? 9, for we know in part and we prophesy in part, right? 10, but when that which is perfect is come, then that which is in part shall be done away. 11, when I was a child, I spake as a child. I understood as a child. I thought as a child, right? That's where mama was absent at, which she is here now, right? She's gracing us constantly. Oh man, flying high every day. There's no need to be sad. You sad? Why? Right? All you need Thoughts of the mind. It's all you need. Right? Comfort. What Christ said he was going to send back? Comforter. Right? John chapter 4. St. John chapter 4, y'all. So you should be feeling better out there. Right? If not, let's talk. Right? Let me put the email in here. Let's talk. Let's see what we can figure out. Let's have a conversation. And if it's anything else we need to do, let's do that, right? If it's anything you need, whatever the case may be, let's talk, right? Especially if you're a widow that has orphans, right? All praise to the Most High. But when I became a man, I put away childish things, right? Verse 12, for now we see through a glass darkly, but then face to face, right? That's where we at now, fam. We are face to face, family. We're seeing everything for what it is now, ain't it? That's where we are. Right? But then face to face. Now I know in part. Now we know in parts, but not anymore. We don't know in parts anymore, right? We know that whole thing. Right? It's going to tell us that next. But then shall we know, even as also we are known. That's where we are now. We see each other for what each other is. How? By that verse. Everybody who thought they was something because they could flip prophecies, they don't feel like that no more, do we? We know better. All of us who was given our body to be burned, physically volunteering our body to go through, to go through inflammation, thought that, that was everything, huh? Guess what? No, not if you lack charity with it, buddy. It don't count for nothing, okay? We know that now. Now you see, that's boom, face to face. Oh, you're looking at your own face. Whoa, that's my face, right? Now we can see ourselves. You know what that just got rid of? Hypocrisy. Hypocrisy is gone at this point. That's the face to face. And us knowing even as also we are known, right? Charity, the divine nine, and all that, right? Yes, yes, yes. Oh man, I love this chapter. I love this chapter. Okay. Verse 13, and now abideth faith, hope, charity. These three. But guess what's more important than faith and hope? But the greatest of these is charity. Shabbat Shalom. I love y'all. Right? We will speak soon. Man, let's go out different tonight. Right? Happy Sabbath. Watch a movie with me if you would. Right?
Sure that we stay within that easy yoke. Because if not, you understand? Let's go to the next. I'm going to see.
He said hot boy.
Because in order to understand Christ, we got to receive the Holy Spirit. That's the importance of repentance.
JJ.
Getting baptized so you can receive the Holy Spirit, right?
Glory to the Heavenly Father. Right on time, my beloved brother, our brother JJ, telling us all about our Sabbath and the Most High's commandments. Then going into the repentance and being baptized to receive the gift of the Holy Spirit. Perfect timing for this next testimony that we about to get into, or at least the short version of it, as you can see here in this picture, in a row. Wheelchair. They sent me home with a walker, y'all. It's August 2023. I'm fresh back from the Sapphire. After spending 2 weeks in the hospital, I go home. I'm alive, but I'm very weak at this time. I still have no idea how long I'm gonna live, and I truly believe I'm still on my way up out of here. Honestly, fam, I don't think I'm back for long. That's how strong the habitat is still on me. It still feels cocky of me to assume that I'm back to stay at this point. So I'm trying not to feel like that kind. I'm treading very lightly, right? So I go home, and every time I eat, I break out in a cold sweat, and both my heart rate and my blood pressure speed up into the 200s. And then boom, I fall out. Ain't no staying upright when that happens, right? I zero out every time. And I mean, I'm in real bad shape, right? I'm spending a good 4 to 5 days in the hospital at this time. Every week, I'm running to the ER and they admit me every time, right? They're keeping me, they're giving me a bed. So I'm basically living in there. I'm weak, I'm slow, I'm on all of these medications. And if you know me, then you know that made me very sad. Ooh, I was real sad, y'all. I was down, but I wasn't out. Very sad to have to be so immobilized and unstable, right? That stage in my reality was telling me my days of being so physical was out of there, fam, right? Walking, standing for long periods of time, rapping, horseplay with the children, and all of that kind of stuff was over. In my eyes, it just seemed so far away, right? To get back where I could do that kind of stuff. It was a gamble. It wasn't promised, right? I didn't think my life would ever be not even remotely similar again. Ain't that right, baby?
Yep.
But what happened? When did that begin to change? When did we start seeing a glimmer of hope?
I started to see a glimmer of hope. It started when you changed your diet. When you got rid of the meat, the dairy, processed food. You just went fully plant-based. You was really just eating fruit at first. And that's when I started to really see an improvement in your health just off of them fruits you was eating. That sauna did something amazing for you. It really was them fruits, the vegetables, and the sauna that got you on the right path to recovery. And you started adding in vegetables after a while.
That's right, all fruit diet, man. Cut the flesh, cut the animal products, cut the chemicals. Got on this diet that I preach about, right?
Also, the grounding.
Even grounding and all that. I came back crazy about everything natural. A tree hugger and a sun gazer and all that. Pro-life, totally in tune with the Most High and all his elements. I turned around and saw that beach. Ooh-wee.
Getting in that sea water.
So when I saw a beach, I thought I was stepping into the bosom of Abraham, right? We were spending all that time up at Carlsbad Beach. I'm grounding in that sand and soaking up that salt water, the whole nine, right? And that's when I started bouncing back, y'all. So all of this stuff I'm talking about, the diet, I'm speaking from experience, con. I remember when I first started feeling strength enter back into my legs again. And that's where the Most High sent the spirit that felt like, hey, it's okay to feel like I ain't gonna take you. Like I really might be able to stay here a little bit longer. We were spending a lot of time staying in this resort by the Carlsbad Beach. And we was all shocked, myself included. Praise the Most High when this happened. Look.
Glory to the Father, you deserve the praise. Lead me to your altar, wash away my shame. Glory to the Father, you deserve the praise. Lead me to your altar, wash away my shame. All I can say is holy. Glory to the Father. Lead me to your altar, wash away my shame. Glory to
I called the whole family out the car, and I'm walking, and we going far, and I'm not getting tired, and I'm not having to find somewhere to sit down, and I'm not having to stop and lean on nothing or nothing. My mobility is solid, and I break into a little jog, and I jump up on the bench, and I turn around, and I come down on firm feet with some level of balance. Praise the higher, all glory be unto him. And then and only then was I assured that the Father was granting me the full measure of mercy to remain among you a little while longer. So
so that's that. Now fast forward 2 years later, I'm out to church. I'm doing what the Father told me to do in 2018. I'm talking to you. We discussing the dangers and the rewards and the loss.
Lead me to your altar. Wash away my shame. Glory to the Father. You deserve the praise. Lead me to your altar. Wash away my. All I can say is holy. Glory to the Father. You deserve the praise. Lead me to your altar. Wash away my shame. Glory to
I call the whole family out the car and I'm walking and we going far and I'm not getting tired and I'm not having to find somewhere to sit down and I'm not having to stop and lean on nothing or nothing. My mobility is solid and I break into a little jog and I jump up on the bench and I turn around and I come down on firm feet with some level of balance. Praise the higher, all glory be unto him. And then and only then was I assured that the Father was granting me the full measure of mercy to remain among you a little while longer. Okay, so that's that. Now fast forward 2 years later, I'm out to church. I'm doing what the Father told me to do in 2018. I'm talking to you. We discussing the dangers and the rewards and the losses, and we begin this ministry here. We're about to have our very first baptism. Our sister Rashara, shout out Stephanie. It's her baptism. I let her pick a place. She don't know my testimony. She has no idea what I've been through or where. But I put it on her shoulders to say where we're gonna have this very first baptism for this ministry. And guess where my sister says she has to be baptized at, y'all?
Carlsbad Beach in San Diego.
My sister said Carlsbad Beach. She said Carlsbad Beach. That was a direct message and confirmation from the Father that, hey, don't worry about nothing, my son, I got you. Yes, this ministry is connected to the reason I put strength back in your legs. Yes, this is the reason why I, the Lord, kept you here. Yes, this is the reason why I, the Lord, decided upon myself to restore you. It's because we still got work to do. And I have chosen. Hawadla ayatawara baba yasha sham aisha la payana pa payaya la hawa payaya la hawa Doctrine is just another word for teaching. So when you use the word doctrine, that's what you're saying. You're saying teaching.
Hebrews 6 from the top.
Therefore, laying what?
Therefore, leaving the principles of the doctrine of Christ, let us go on unto perfection, not laying again the foundation of repentance from dead work and the faith toward the Most High. 2, of the doctrine of baptism and of laying on of hands and of the resurrection of the dead and of eternal judgment. Baptism, resurrection of the dead, judgment, laying on the hands. That's the doctrine, the doctrine. Baptism, resurrection of the dead, judgment, laying on the hands. That's the doctrine, the doctrine. Yeah, how could you deny it? His teaching is leaking like a fountain. Wouldn't even be alive if he didn't tell us leading through the mountains. Would have got cut down in 70 AD. The Romans was after us, but we saw the speech could pass with armies and fled into Africa. Now here you are today, pouring up and down. He never existed in the heavenly realm at the right hand of the Father, where he's sitting. Yet just waiting on that word, waiting on that word. As soon as the Father give him that word, he's coming for the 10% of that third. And many will be destroyed. Then follow instruction. Go out and get my elected multitude in the water and dunk it. But you talking about the baptism is the washing of the water of the word. But the scriptures make it different. John had the greatest words. Why would Matthew 11:11 say he had the greatest words? Well, his name is John the Baptist. He was bringing that submerged. Say you follow Christ. right? When Christ got submerged in the servant is not greater than the master. Did he serve? Gotta get that baptism, resurrection of the dead. Gotta get that judgment, laying on the hands. That's the doctrine, the doctrine, the doctrine, the doctrine, the doctrine. Gotta get that baptism, resurrection of the dead. Judgment, laying on the hands. That's the doctrine, the doctrine, the doctrine, the doctrine, the doctrine, yeah. And the dead to be raised, he already did it once. Matthew 27 and 50 to 53. Look it up, did it then, he gonna do what he did. Cause the higher given the power, everybody coming up out their graves in that final hour. Some to everlasting life, others to everlasting content. Daniel chapter 12 verse 2, and that's the Old Testament. He came in the volume of this book. It was written of him. If the Father could make the man of binders, he could make one to set us free. And it starts now. Bow your head in prayer, face the east. Firm grip upon their vessel and their heel gradually. That's the laying on their hands. Really work, I've done it, but everything ain't everything because that judgment's still coming. What did you do with your life? Why should you not go to hell? Did you serve anybody else? Or did you just serve yourself? Did you believe in the Father, the Son, and Holy Spirit? Did you minister to the saints or be a stumbling block? Did you get that baptism, resurrection of the dead? Did you get that judgment, laying on the hands? That's the doctrine, the doctrine, the doctrine. Did you get that baptism, resurrection of the dead? You did? Judgment, laying on the hands. That's the doctrine, the doctrine, the doctrine, the doctrine. Yeah.
I'm just trying to put it on your mind. It's the only thing that really matters. Even with all knowledge of self, the Hebrews were looking for something. Reconcilement.
Your history books don't trump these scriptures. If the Father then said, pour out some liquor, it's just as dead as faith without works. Jeremiah 17:9, feelings getting hurt, keep them out the mix. A prideful man can't learn, the truth burns, and the offended won't discern. Pop this book like a trunk. We got a problem here, send a whole pack of Mormons scrambling up out of here. Back on the block though, we gon' make it pop though. I stacked against us, the work don't stop though. Back on the block. And we gon' make it pop. Back on the block though, we gon' make it pop though. I stacked against us, the truth will never stop though. We back on the block. The truth will never stop.